here at the Nathan Quao Studios inside the Clockside headquarters building inside here in Accra. Now, I'm sitting in for our usual host, Yaira Abuno, who's gone for a very, very short week. She'll be joining us very soon. But we still have to stay informed, educated, and as well as entertained. Coming up today on our conversations, power-packed conversations, GES has brought out a press statement that is addressing, alleged malpractices that were witnessed in this year's BEC. We'll be talking about that. We also have, a press statement from MultiChoice, that is DSTV, and also from the NCA, National Communications Authority, as to what is happening with the reduction of prices, demanded by the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation. He's requesting that DSTV reduces its price. We will also be talking about that during the online review because I can see my co-hosts, all poised up and they'll be sharing their opinions on that. Over the weekend, we got the privilege of attending the Ogwafetu Afashe. We'll also be bringing highlights on what exactly happened in collaboration with the Pimpamsie Beer Festival that was held in Cape Coast. We'll talk about the inter-schools, football gala that was held. Who won? We'll be bringing you that news as well. And the sports update will also be talking about yesterday's match. Ghana met with Mali, and we all know the outcome. But as to whether Ghana performed to our satisfaction is what we do not know. Our sports team will also be sharing their opinions on that. Now, with lifestyle, we will be touching on how to embrace locally produced foods because we have some reps or executives of the National Service Association Authority. They will be talking to us about how to embrace locally produced foods. And also on our main conversation, the top conversations here, we are going to be talking about how to promote cleanliness in Ghana. And we are privileged to have the Public Health Director of AMA to also pass through, and some reps from the volunteer group Bus Stop Boys will also be passing through. So just as I said, it is a power-packed conversations here on the morning show. Once again, I am Miriam Abna Adede. We are streaming live on Facebook and also YouTube as well. You can also catch us live on GoTV channel 184. You can also get interactive with us via our streaming platforms and also engage us with your thoughts, opinions on our WhatsApp number, which is displayed on your screen, and we'll gladly read them out. Now, let's take some motivation to set the tone for, the tough conversations we'll be having. Let's take this break. When we come back, our motivation is next. Angie, welcome back. Now, let's take our motivation for today. Today's motivation is from George Ade. And he says, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. That is our quote for today. Now, this quote is reminding us of the fact that fear is a constant barrier that hinders us from always achieving our goals. On the other side of fear, it is always opportunities, it is always breakthroughs, it is our dreams. But yet, fear keeps holding us back. The fear of, what people are going to say, the fear of failure, the fear of how do I start, where do I start from, the fear of what do I say is what is holding a lot of people back, on achieving their goals, achieving their dreams and all that. But nobody has got it all figured out. Nobody has got it all figured out. People you see on your screens today started from somewhere. And so assuming you want to be a journalist, you want to be a TV personality, you have to face that fear. You have to start by building soft skills. You have to start by reading. You have to start by, learning how to communicate with your siblings, your mother, your father. At church, you can start picking up roles like reading the announcement. It starts from there. Then you start building the confidence. By the time you realize all these experiences will come together, and then you will see yourself somewhere and you wonder, is this me? How did I get here? But if you keep saying, oh, I'm scared, something is holding me back. What are people going to say? What if I fumble? People are going to laugh at me. All these things are, things we categorize under fear that holds us back, that hinders us from achieving our goals. So this morning, we briefly want to, encourage you to go for that goal. Yes, it is normal to feel anxious sometimes. It is normal to be scared. It is normal to have cold feet. But yet, you still have to go for that dream. If not, you will still be at where you are. I hope you have been motivated this morning. Thank you very much for paying attention to our motivational quotes for today. We have some online news, trends, stories coming your way right after this breaker. And you're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. Now that we've all been motivated, let's get straight into talking about topical issues, things happening in Ghana and possibly outside of Ghana. And let me also remind you that you can share your thoughts, opinions with us via our streaming platforms, Facebook and also YouTube. Our WhatsApp number has been activated, and so you can send in your comments and we'll read them out for you. I have with me my two gentlemen. I mean, one calls himself an ordained commentator. I mean, sports commentator. He's also an apostle. Clement Yabankwe is in the building, and we also have Peter Insia, the finest gentleman we have here. Hey, did I say fine? No, one of the finest before they come for me. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Mimi.
Hey. So we are in the second week of September, right? How is it going for you?
Okay, Peter. I mean, up and grateful.
Of course.
I mean, I kind of like the motivational quote today.
Yeah.
I'll say, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Mm.
I mean, and we are up and grateful. It has been a long weekend with so many things happening. And I'm excited about the fact that, I mean, we're about to have some kind of conversation that I want to, like you rightly said, about we having the finest commentator here. I can't just wait to,
Let's hear from Clement.
Yes.
Clement, how was your weekend?
By grace was wonderful, Mimi.
Where were you?
Ogwa.
Ogwa.
Yes.
I see. So what happened there? But before we talk about Ogwa, let me just chip in this sad news we got over the weekend that one of our regular guests who usually passes through, especially with culture and festival, Numong Belinfo, has sadly passed on. It was a sad news for all of us. I don't know if we have a picture to display so that people know who we are talking about. So, yeah, that was the news we got over the weekend, a very, very sad news over there. Clement, last year we were at Gamashi where he passed through for the Homo War. You had an encounter with him.
Yeah.
What would you say about him?
Mimi, he's a good man who knows about the history and tradition of the Gan people. Basically, he's able to tell you where the Gans actually migrated from to the recent place that we have in the current Accra setting.
Yeah.
And what I remember him of was when the government was organizing the 1 week, that's the candle night vigil for Daddy Lumba at the Black Star Square. He was the one who did a traditional prayer. Yes, he was the one who did a traditional prayer. So you could see he understands the tradition and the culture of his people. So I think we've lost a very great historian We've lost a very great personality in the Ga community. We pray that may his soul continue to rest in perfect peace.
I don't know if I should come to Peter because maybe you might have no experience with him or something.
No, actually, yeah.
Okay. So, Numongbelemfo the second is revered Osugwa Wulomo. Yeah. Osugwa Wulomo. I think that's the chief priest or something. Yeah. So he is the one we are talking about, and we send our condolences to the family and the people of Osu. We are mourning with you this morning. Now, away from that, let's talk about Ogwafetu Afashe 2025 and the Intersports or Interschools Gala.
Okay, so Mimi, Ogwafetu Afashe, it was a very nice experience. That was over the weekend. The place was full of personalities. Starting from Friday at the Paramount Chief, how should I call it? The Paramount House. Your friend of Emin Timazi. That was where the Paramount Chief actually meets all his people, the palace. So that's where the tradition right started from, all the way when they were sending the cow to the shrine for sacrifice, and made us understand that that is the tradition. And even speaking with the secretary to the committee, an interview with him made us understand that over the years, they used to even equally sacrifice human, but this time around, per God's interaction with the gods, they agreed to sacrifice cow. I remember I asked a very significant question. What happens if they go and the gods reject the cow? Yes, I asked him that question. And he said it has never happened before because they even keep the cow for some number of days. Oh, okay. Yes, for purification. The gods accept it before they send it there. So, Mimi, after that purification, after that sacrifice, in the afternoon, being myself with James went for what we call the Orange Friday. That was must watch. Yeah. So far, so good. I would say that is the festival I have never seen in Ghana when it comes to Ogwa Orange Friday celebration. Friday, it's so
that's like
massive.
A street carnival.
A street carnival with more than 20 tracks, full of people, over thousands of people. Those who know Abra down to the Chapel Square, full of people.
And then let's talk about Saturday. That's what we are seeing on our screens.
So Mimi, Saturday was so amazing. As you could see on the screen, I had a privilege to interview the woman, that's the leader, and he said that these people are police people.
Hey.
Yes, they are police people.
Yeah, you can see.
Yes, so over there. Yes, I was in the short speaking with her, and he said the reason why they've lied down is because they are sick, and whenever someone is sick, the person goes down. That is why they are down, and after that they will just rise up. This was when the Asafo group were coming, the 7 Asafo group, and this was part of what we call the Bentu group. They said they are the key bearers. Omukra Ogwa Safo and the key. So if they don't enter, nobody else enter. And it was so amazing. It was so amazing, Mimi.
Well, for me, it was the display of the various Asafo companies, the Cape Coast people have, and it was amazing. I mean, they were all in different colors. Representing, I don't know what exactly they were representing, but these are traditional, like military. Sure. They fought for the unity and, they come together to help societal development and all that. And so seeing them, they said Fetu Afashe is for Asafo companies. So you see that they come in their numbers, they display. So we have a video of Beatrice also speaking to one of them who was also giving us an insight on what Ogwafetu Afashe is all about. Let's take a look.
Orange Friday. So he's the linguist to the king. Okay. And that is the queen mother of the Orange Friday. And the king is dressed in that, what we call the Koko, the sack. Yes, that is what the king was dressed in. And the one beside him is what we call, in those. Yeah, so these people are what we call them the leaders or the traditional leaders of Orange Friday. So in Cape Coast, everything they do has a traditional meaning.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Orange Friday was not just ordinary carnival, but they had leaders who were leading that afloat as well.
Interesting.
And that's what we can actually see on the shows.
I also had a chance of, interviewing one young man who was dressed like a king and had, followers. People were following him. And I asked him, he was like, he's the king of the youth. I was like, really? Cape Coast is really, really an interesting
It's
place
very
to be.
interesting. And one interesting thing was that one of the Asafo groups, that is called Inkum, the queen mother of that group is the former chairperson of Electoral Commission.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Mrs. Charlotte Osei.
Yeah.
Yes, she is the queen mother for that Asafo company. That is the Inkum. They wear yellow. When you go to the Ghana, they wear yellow. So she's the queen mother of that very group.
Interesting.
So, yes.
Now let's move into Pimpamsie Beer Festival. I mean, we slept at Pimpamsie Hotel. Peter, we'll come to you, don't worry. We know you are missing out of action and all that, but don't worry, we'll get to you. So Pimpamsie Beer Festival, we were at Pimpamsie Hotel where everything happened, the inter-schools gala. You mentioned that it was between one of the schools, not even one of the best schools. No, you said something. You said the only school in Greater Accra and one of the schools in Cape Coast. So how was it?
So Mimi, I think Pimpamsie Beer Festival is a festival that all must be there.
Yeah.
At least if you didn't get the opportunity to be there 2025, 2026, you need to be there. If you are going to Oga to celebrate Fetu Afeshe and you don't get Pimpamsie to sleep, I think you didn't go to Oga in the first place.
Yeah.
Because it is a place with the best meal ever, a good reception. The room it's so spacious and a very nice place to be. Very spacious. So I think moving forward, everybody wants to go to Cape Coast for Oga Afeshe shoot, go to Pimpamsie Hotel because that is the best place you can ever have. We had a lot of series of events. As you said, Friday was the old school jam. Saturday was the reggae night. And some of us were not really fun, but we were still enjoying the reggae night because the music was just on point. We had a lot of schools represented. That was Friday night. Accra, a disco, Ogasco, National, all these. The rep were there, and not the youth, but the big men themselves. They were all there on Saturday. And that Sunday, we had the amazing Kiss fanfare. I saw yourself, Yara and Tibi also over there. So interesting. And we also had the gala competition, which was equally streamed live on Clock TV and also Facebook. And at the end of the gala competition, I would say that National actually won the trophy for 2025 edition. Accra was not able to defend this time around. And it was so amazing. It was full of fun. And the whole intention for that competition was that they want to bring unity, oneness, togetherness, and they want to build what we call the unity among the youth. Let's see ourselves as one. That's the way you could see the only school I called in Greater Accra was part of that very competition. That's Accra Academy. Someone will find out why is Accra Academy there. They are there because they believe that it's not only about Oga Festival, it's not only about the people of Cape Coast, but let all of us travel all the ways from the world to witness what Cape Coast people have.
Interesting review over there. I mean, if you didn't talk this much about the program next year, I don't think you would have been considered to be a part of it. So, Peter, how was your weekend?
My
was
weekend. No. I mean, it was wonderful. I mean, staying glued to my TV set, watching you, and then I was enjoying everything. And then there's no doubt that we have beautiful culture, beautiful tradition in this country. And I mean, my highlight was actually the football. And I didn't know that we have one of the top commentators in this building. In football, one of the top commentators we have is Peter Drury. I don't know if we have him in this, at Clock TV. As we're watching it, I mean, it was so wonderful. Clement Yabanke giving us the back-to-back and everything.
I think sometimes you need to be featured on the sports segment because you have a lot to say.
In life, you made us understand what you didn't fear. So wherever they put you should perform.
Okay.
You shouldn't fear.
Then you did well. We have to, commend you on that. And also commend James for that beautiful goal he scored for Accra.
Exactly.
He really did well. Now let's move away from that and talk about a topical issue that is, trending now. GES has brought out a press statement and they are addressing some allegations made, about this year's BEC. Joy TV or that media outfit did a documentary on how corruption, malpractices, exam malpractices are being handled in junior secondary school. That's the BECE, and they've brought out this documentary. Now, GES is saying that they were not aware, and now that they've seen the documentary, they are going to scrutinize it and also bring to light all perpetrators who were involved in this malpractices. What do you say about it?
I mean, Mimi, today is not the first time we are talking about examination malpractice. Even on this platform, you've said it countless times. It's high time WAEC, in collaboration with government, the Ministry of Education, sit down and put measures in place that would address this issue of malpractice in our exams. Because now I can say that the integrity of our exams is somehow going down the lane. I mean,
Peter, you would have to hold on for us. Let's take a look at the video so that our viewers can also see what we are talking about, so they can get interactive with us on our WhatsApp number.
Staff of the service understand the rules governing the exams and the repercussions of violating them. The sensitization ended a day before the exams.
Before the examination, we sent our team with WAEC. They toured the whole country. I don't know whether when you spoke to people they told you. BC, they toured the whole country. On a day before the start of the exams, I issued a press statement. I don't know whether you read the press statement. And we told the whole world that if a teacher is caught aiding cheating, that is the end of the teacher. The teacher may be fired.
According to the head of public affairs at WAEC, John Kapi, the council spelled out the rules to the supervisors. Meanwhile, on the same day, staff of GES appointed as supervisors for the exams and tasked with the responsibility to relay the rules to the invigilators, were rather outrightly preparing the invigilators to break the rules.
Some of them will be asked a question. Sometimes we don't know, so we tell them I don't know. Okay. If they can ask their friends, which they feel is correct, I'll have which you ask your friend the same. For this, it is not individual, it's by the school, understand? And from there, they are entering to another level. So for them to get schools like this session, so you can ask your friend to fill the gap. It's very embarrassing that a whole person why happened like that? And we have to talk to them to when you see strange people, when you see us, when you get a strange person coming, they need to be later, we are letting Mr. Ministers coming. Please, don't have your friends, be on your people. So we guide them. Okay.
Every candidate should do independent work. When you hear us talk about collusion, that is what we're talking about. Collusion is simply that you have the same thing running through the scripts of the candidates. So it tells you that either there has been a certain kind of communication between the candidates, or there's been an external source, one source to every single person. So candidates are supposed to do independent work. That is why when you look at the rules, they ask whether each candidate is assigned a desk and a chair. And there's a certain distance from one candidate to another, so that they do not have the opportunity of communicating with each other. So there should be no communication whatsoever between one candidate and the other. If in the course of the examination you have any question, you put up your hand, and the invigilator is the only person who should answer that question.
Wednesday, the 11th of June 2025, was the start of exams which would continue until Wednesday, the 18th of June 2025, to be written by 603,328 registered candidates across the country. The exams started with assembly of candidates, after which a CISO laid down the rules to candidates. They were then marched to the exam rooms without the conduct of searches. It would later be discovered in our investigation that the forest.
There you have it. That is the documentary put together by Joy News, and it is titled The Dark World of BECE. And it's, you could see some secret filming over there and involving some GES officials colluding with some of the students to practice exam malpractices. And that is what we are talking about this morning. Peter, you were on the floor.
Yeah. So like I was saying, this woman in question is a representative from, WAEC, a supervisor inciting invigilators to help students to, actually copy.
Yeah.
This is very bad.
Very, very bad.
And, I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on. I think this reset agenda, the WAEC, the whole WAEC, and the Ghana Education Service should also they should get that resetting agenda also there and make sure that, things run the way we want them. This one goes a long way to affect these students. So some of these students will prepare at home, knowing that they are going to sit down in peace and write exams. They will get there, and some teachers and invigilators will come, we have this for you, and they will be, some will be feeding them with wrong answers. Yeah. At the end of the day, we blame students if they don't pass. But you see, the thing is that most of these people do some of these things without even getting the right sources, the right people to even solve answers. Questions for the students. They'll end up giving them wrong answers, and at the end of the day, they put these kids in trouble.
But Peter, don't you think, Clement, before you come in, don't you think these BEC candidates are very young to be going through these whole stressful kind of exams to the extent that they will have to be cheating during exams? Because when this video was out, I went down the comments to read what some people were saying, and I would say 80% of the comments were, in support of the fact that the students should be allowed to cheat because they are young and you can't put them through the stress. I'm just being objective here. Yeah.
But the fact is they go through, training.
Yeah.
I mean, so the training is from basic 1, you go to basic 2, from JHS 1, you go to 2. So whatever thing you are going to write there, you are being taught in school.
Yeah.
They don't give different, questions as to, they write mock exams before the exams itself. So there's nothing new for them to say that they are going to cheat. But I think that the students themselves, like you rightly said, they are young. They can't get that kind of idea that I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to learn, I'm going to cheat. It's some of these teachers and invigilators inside them that see, even if you don't learn and your parents pay this amount of money, you are going to help, you're going to
Because in the video, we saw that some students were making daily payments of 60 Ghana cedis, and they were allowed to use their phones, be on AI, just 60 Ghana cedis daily. And so multiply 60 Ghana cedis, by the number of students in each class. Yeah. That's a huge sum of money, Clement.
Mimi, I think I would say the comment section you saw, it's a good point, but I still have a concern that I don't see it to be a stress. Writing BC is not a stress.
Okay.
So why would you have to pay that amount of 2,000, 1,000? You are inciting bribery and corruption in the country. And this is the very crisis we are dealing with as a country. This is what is killing us as an African countries. So if we want to take off this bribery and corruption that everybody in this country is pointing hands to the politician, then there's a saying that when you point one finger to someone, the rest of the finger points to you.
Yeah.
So we, the ordinary Ghanaian in the country, should know that as we are paying our that money to our kids, we are giving the teachers, go and do it, go and do it. At the end of the day, these kids will come back and still work against us. They will still come back and be the leaders, that corruptible leaders, the leaders who will always go in for the dubious means to get things done in the country. And we will still come back here and discuss this issue. So maybe I think that this issue needs to be dealt with at a national level. Let's speak to the parents involved. It's parents, teachers, and students issue. So not only students should go through the punishment, not only teachers should go through the punishment, but equally the parents. Any school who is charging more than the required amount of money, GS should find out. And any parents who has paid that money, they should put the parents also in that contest.
Right.
Not only teachers. You see, last week I had a story in Shamat district. There's a school called Asoko. And what happened? The parents went to the school to lock down the school or to attack the teachers on the basis that the student didn't perform well in BEC. And I was asking myself, why would the parents go there to do that?
Yeah.
Is it because the teachers were supposed to do it, they didn't do it? Or what was the main reason? Or were you expecting the teachers to buy questions and give it to your student to study, or what? So let's get to the root cause of this issue. If it is lack of infrastructure, government should step in. If it's a situation that the teachers are not really putting their maximum effort, they should do that. If you're a student, sometimes, students don't go to school. It's only BC time that you see them going to school. So how do you expect a kid like this to pass?
Clement, we shouldn't, blame parents alone, leaving our teachers. In this case,
I'm blaming all of them.
Okay, so in this case, we also have some officials from GES and also WAEC. When it comes to exams, WAEC employs people to, take care of the invigilation and all that. I have been there before, but I'm not a teacher. Or I was not a teacher still. I'm not a teacher. But I invigilated an exam, right? So in this case, don't you think we also have a ill mindset of corruption, and then we impose it on the students, making it look like they are desperate to pass, but we are also desperate to get money?
Okay, let me bring you this. On the floor of Parliament the last time, Majority Leader was making a statement, and he said, when his kid was going to write exams, I forgot whether it was or BCA, the kid said they are taking an amount of money per a student, and he said that he's not going to pay that money.
Okay.
So the teacher told the kid to come and tell the father, but he stood on his ground and said he's not going to pay that money. He didn't pay. So if a teacher is saying that your kid should pay an amount of money, and you say your child will not pay, nothing would happen. That is my point. Okay. That is where I'm coming from. Okay. So if the invigilator is saying that pay this amount of money, and you go tell your mother or your father, and your mother and your father says he will not pay, that's the value chain or the distributing chain has broken. So the teacher will not get any fuel to continue the journey. But if the fuel or the abilities come from the parent is pushing, bringing the resources, the teacher gets the vim, also carry the activity, give it to the student. But if one value chain is broken, Mimi, we'll be able to solve this issue.
Let's hear from Peter.
Yeah, so talking about this issue, it is a collective something. Yeah. So in as much as we blame the teachers and we blame the parents, I see that the country has given powers to the school. The teachers, they have the power to reject. And so if a parent comes to you and say that I want to pay this amount of money so that you aid my ward to cheat and pass the exams, you have the power, you have the right to reject it. And if the parent insists, you take the money and spend it. At the end of the day, if the parent had a problem, you go to the court. And it's high time, in as much as we blame these people, we blame the teachers, the authority involved, because they have the power. Yeah. As a parent, I can just come to you and lobby, take this amount and help my ward. But you have the power. I mean, that is what is happening
Yeah.
right currently.
Why should you lobby
And so
in the
to
first
solve
place?
this
Clement,
one,
people-
you have to, I
people
mean,
are
empower
willing
the
to do
teachers.
things
Punish
for
the-
their kids to
the
pass.
teachers.
That is why we have this problem in the country.
Yeah.
People are willing to use the dubious means to achieve their aim.
And so the teachers, it is the teachers who allows this. So if I come to you with my money and then the teacher explains and still you insist, just take the money. And at the end of the day, what you're asking us to do, we wouldn't do it. And this will serve as a deterrent. I mean, we can't continue to blame parents while teachers who knows the rule, who knows the law. Most of these parents that we are talking about are are illiterate. They do not know what is happening. And then you see a stubborn, lazy student who go to his or her parents and tell them, Mommy, Daddy, they said this. Meanwhile, the person doesn't want to learn. You take money and go. And so it is the duty, the responsibility of these teachers to educate the parents when they come to them, rather than succumbing to the fact that they should cheat and all that.
Okay, so let's read the press statement and then we'll continue. This is from GES and it's saying allegations of malpractice in the 2025 BCE. Now, 1, the attention of the management of the Ghana Education Service has been drawn to reports in some sections of the media, particularly Joy News TV, of a possible screening of alleged malpractices in the Basic Education Certificate examination in some schools. 2, the GES wishes to assure the public that a copy of the full documentary with the original transcripts will be obtained and scrutinized immediately, after which a full-scale investigation will be conducted into the allegations. 3, management reiterates its absolute aversion to examination malpractice. Cheating undermines the integrity of our education system, destroys meritocracy, and produces graduates who lack the competencies required for national development. 4, management has the support of the Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, and the GES Council to sanction any official of the service teaching or non-teaching found to have been involved in aiding or abetting cheating in the examination. Such persons, if found guilty, will face severe disciplinary actions in accordance with the law and established service regulation. Now, the last point also says, management assures all stakeholders that GES remains committed to upholding the integrity of examinations and will collaborate fully with WAEC, national security and law enforcement agencies to stamp out this menace. So it means that these things are illegal. When caught, you will face legal, consequences. When the head of public affairs of WAEC, Mr. John Kapi, was interviewed, he made mention of the fact that searching has not stopped. So these students are searched thoroughly before they enter the exam hall. So how come they still get in there with their phones? They still get in there with papers, they still get in there to practice these cheatings.
Okay,
so the fact is that, it is a collaborative something that we are talking about. So the fact we have the laws, let's just enforce the laws. So like you rightly said, talking about the BECE, that now it doesn't have any value. That certificate is what will propel you to another level. That is the
But don't you think the certificate should be cancelled and it should just be a smooth transition, just like from basic 6 to junior high school?
Gone are the days we have the entrance exams.
Yes. So it shouldn't be something strict. Don't you think these, just as I said earlier,
I think that was
they are
proposed.
very young. They are very young to go through invigilators. The pressure it comes with when an invigilator is standing by you. You don't even know what you are going to write. Let's consider their...
Maybe when you talk
mostly
about...
these invigilators are not... Yes, we have external ones, but some of them are people
your teachers.
So I don't see it to be a problem though.
Exactly.
Most of us have passed through this very situation.
Okay.
But the issue is the system has changed. The system, that is the whole problem. The invigilation, everything is powerful. It's on point. But the issue is, let's go back to the system. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's look at the structure for this examination once again. And let's connect the dots. And things will work.
Yeah.
Because maybe if you don't deal with this issue, there's no way we can deal with bribery and corruption in the country.
In Ghana, because this is where it starts.
This is where it starts from.
And it's surprising. Someone will be involved in corruption at a very high state, and then we'll say, "Oh, it's new." that's the person's first time. But you wouldn't even know the number of years the person has been practicing
Exactly.
this. So at that point, masters,
Exactly.
in the game.
And you see, maybe you made a point before Peter came. You talk about the PRO making a statement that yes, he said everybody should be searched thoroughly before the examination. The question is that is on paper. That's what the paper says. That
they really
search
search them?
every student thoroughly. The question: do they really search them?
That's the question. That's the question.
Yes.
I mean, so the fact is that they should enforce the laws. Like you rightly said, there are stricter rules and all that, but still these students and invigilators manage to take exams, mobile phones and all that. You see, recently we heard that during these WASI exams, 2 people were apprehended impersonating. This time around, it is not going to the exams hall with papers and mobile phone. They were impersonating. I mean, this is very serious. This is very, very serious. And I think it is high time this whole this year's WASI and BEC exam should, give us the energy to fight this exams malpractice in this country. Else,
Peter,
we are not doing.
Thank you very much. Because of time, we'll have to move straight into other stories. Briefly, let's talk about multi-choice, DSTV, and also what is happening with the ministry. Clement, do you have something to say about that?
No, ECG. I want to talk about ECG, so after.
Okay, so multi-choice, like you said, so because of time, I would like to give a small background.
Okay, so our producer says there's a video to this. If you're wondering what we're about to talk about, let's take a look at this video. When we come back, we'll give more in-depth into it.
There are legal procedures, and that's why we've appointed a transaction advisor. The transaction advisor will take us through the processes to a conclusion of the matter. Is there any cost for Telecel carrying this out? AT already has a roaming agreement with Telecel and MTN. And so there is no new cost to this. There's already a technical arrangement that has been approved by the NCA for a national roaming agreement between the 2 companies. So there's no additional cost to the taxpayer or to AT for this. Graphic, timing of consultation by multi-choice. I would not want to impugn of corporate entities where there's a force majeure. There are legal procedures, and that's why we've appointed a transaction advisor. The transaction advisor will take us through the processes to a conclusion of the matter. Is there any cost for Telecel carrying this out? AT already has a roaming agreement with Telecel and MTN, and so there is no new cost to this. There's already a...
And that's Honorable Sam George Nate, Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation over there. But over the weeks, I mean, there has been this brouhaha between multi-choice, which is DSTV, and also the ministry. And just recently, we also received a press statement from the National Communications Authority. So it's now like a tug of war between the ministry and then NCA and then multi-choice. They are just asking them to reduce their prices because Ghanaians are complaining. Now, yesterday, to my surprise, no Ghanaian TV station showcased the sports we had here, played here. But when you go on DSTV, you can, view whatever is happening there. Don't you think this is one of the reasons that has given DSTV the power to price whatever amounts they are pricing? Because, I mean, do you get it? Yeah.
Okay, so Peter, I think.
I mean, so in as much as their services are needed, it doesn't give them the right to this. Let me use this word, disrespect. I mean, you are operating. See, this whole thing unfolded somewhere in June when Sam George actually did his calculations and said that compared to other countries, Ghanaians are paying higher amounts. And so DSTV should come on board so that they negotiate to see how best they can reduce the prices. This has been happening, like you said. There has been a banter on social media, Sam George and DSTV. They were feeling reluctant to present it.
Even with their press statement, they said they are open for a dialogue.
You get
but
it.
They have not reduced their prices.
Even Sam George has, I mean, there's a fine of 10,000 Ghana cedis daily. Still, it was just recently, they were given a 30-day ultimatum. It was just on the 5th, 7th, that they came out to say that they are ready to have a negotiation, a dialogue with Sam George to know how best they can reduce the prices. I mean, as much as you are operating in this country, you have to obey, the rules and regulations. This is what the minister has found out. Come, let's sit down. Let's look at your pricing, data, your tax components and everything. If it is indeed true that we are paying, Ghanaians are paying, too much for the services that you render to other African countries, we sit down, we cut down costs, and we go on and on and on.
Let me allow Clement to also come in. We are far behind time.
Yeah, so maybe one thing I want to say is that though DSTV is practicing or enjoying what we call the monopoly market, whereby they are the only people producing that kind of services, so they can price it any way they want to. They should equally think about the good people of Ghana. It would have been a different story if you charge the whole African countries the same price. That one we all understand. But to charge someone A and charging someone B, it's not the best thing to do. If you are telling us that Ghana is charging you more taxes, let us know your price list. Let us know what really constitutes your price. That's what the ministry is demanding from them. And they are reluctant in giving. So the question is, why are they doing this? This is a situation between Ghana and South African country. So why would a South African country, a business in South Africa, have this kind of relationship with a fellow African country? This is the problem. We are complaining about the relationship between African countries and other countries. But here's the case that between African countries, we're having this kind of issues. So how do South Africa expect a Ghanaian company who is operating in South Africa to also price things? So this is why we could see the trade war coming in play. I heard the news that the Minister for Foreign Affairs for South Africa will be coming to Ghana to see to all these things being resolved. We hope it's being resolved because you can't come to our country and operate any way you want to operate, even though we've given you the reasons why you should come down. But yes, you are insistent. So maybe I think that the Ministry of Communication, the NCA, should go on what they are doing. It's the best thing. I know Ghanaians are in support of what they are doing because we all want fairness and equity. In this very situation we find ourselves, already we have a lot of economic burden. So we want Ghanaians to be relieved. And these are some of the things that we expect.
So let me briefly read what we have here from the National Communications Authority, and then we'll go straight into digital stories. Now, a meeting was held between the National Communications Authority and MultiChoice Ghana. This is in response to the demand from the Minister of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, requesting MultiChoice to reduce their prices. Now, the NCA says, 1, MultiChoice Ghana agrees with the directive from the Honourable Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation for the establishment of a stakeholder committee to evaluate DSTV pricing in Ghana, and that they intend to fully participate in this work. 2, the outcome of the stakeholder committee would be determined at the end of its work. 3, MultiChoice has confirmed that it will respect due process and the laws of Ghana and its people. And so we are waiting to see the outcome of the meeting that will be held, the stakeholder committee that will be held, or meeting that will be held between NCA, the ministry, and also MultiChoice. But looking at what we have here, it looks like MultiChoice still stands, firm.
That is why I made mention of a statement that they are disrespecting the country. The reason why I said disrespect is that they are not just operating, they are operating under an NCA, Electronic Communication Act 2000, Act 77. And that is this same act, that is where the Honourable Minister imposed, that is the 100,000 Ghana cedi daily on them. And so you can't just, the minister will say this and you intend to say this. It is a pure disrespect.
We are hoping that they come to a consensus on this, because at the end of the day, it is we, the Ghanaians, that make you, DSTV who you are. I mean, in Ghana, outside, there are other people that will patronize your services. But in Ghana, we are the ones, patronizing your services. And so you'd have to come to terms with what we are requesting from you. And we'll live peacefully in Ghana. Let's move straight into our digital stories. Daily Graphic, business.
Okay, so I have the Daily Graphic here. On the front page, you have about 3 different stories on the front page. But the main one talks about, if you all remember, there was a community in the Western region around Prestia Wani Valley district where there was an explosion 3 years ago. But Daily Graphic reporting shows that community has not really been put... exactly. They've not really enjoyed what they are expected to enjoy. And it's a revelation also in the newspaper shows that an amount that has been received so far, that is 112 million Ghana cedis, that has been raised to support this fund. It has been, only 60 million has been used for this, the intended purpose. And 52 million Ghana cedis is idle in 2 different accounts, one with GCB Bank and one with Stanbic Bank. So people are asking, doing what? So that is another interesting story. People can get the continuation of this story at the page 3 of the Daily Graphic. We have another story, Black Stars on course for World Cup. That is, you could get a story at the page, the back page of the Daily Graphic. And also President Mahama donates 20,000 protective equipment to sharp collectors. You can also get a story at page 16 and 17 of the Daily Graphic.
All right, let's move straight into graphic business.
All right, so on the front page, you have BOG fight by currency speculation. And then you have GBC rises amid market decline. And we have ENP complete acquisition of Black Volta Sankofa projects. This one is a topical, but because of time, you won't dive into it. And that is all on the business graphic.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for making it here on the online review. It is always, an insightful time with you. Today, I'm not part of you. I'm sitting in the shoes of our usual host, Yaira Awuno, who is watching us from home. Yaira, we say hi to you. Thank you so much. We have an interesting conversation on the lifestyle segment that talks about how to embrace locally produced food. And so you would have to stay with us because our guests carry insights into this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And so someone will be wondering, looking at their backgrounds and the topic for discussion, where lies the link? Let's get straight into, finding out from them. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so just as I mentioned, right? So where is the link? Where is the interest coming from? Looking at where you were placed for your service.
So one thing that I love to talk about is culture and identity. And if you look at the definition of culture, one of the primary aspects of the representation of culture is the food of the people. And so in embracing food and locally sourced meals, you are actually agreeing to an identity and a cultural representation which is yours. That's part of the reason why this is the main focus for me, trying to divert the youth to move towards agriculture, food production, and all of that. Because I believe that is one of the main key pathways that we can reconcile the youth to their roots and their cultural identity for national development.
Interesting. Mordecai, what about you?
So you're looking at the terrain in Ghana, the youth, we are educated. And so if you enter into farming, we can add value to agriculture. And so adding value to agriculture means very big to those of us who are educated. Do you get it? So it is for this reason that the Executive of National Service Personnel Association of Ghana East, we sat and decided to bring up a program. And then it was centered on agriculture and then food.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's why
we targeted agriculture.
Yes.
Interesting. Let me come back to you. Why do you think it's important that we embrace locally produced foods, especially in this year, 2025?
There are so many reasons. I think, personally for me, primary is because, as I said before, it's tied to cultural identity. And culture is also a representation of your cultivation, your upbringing. It's just a way to connect back to your identity. Second on the list is, you're talking about health.
Okay.
If you focus on feeding on more local meals, more locally produced meals, you would realize that there's a large more expanse for you to focus on being healthy, because if you look at our meals, they are highly nutritious and nutrition dense. So it will definitely improve your health overall. And third of all, it allows us to also invest back into our communities and invest back into the nation, because we would be, it would allow us to circulate our money within the local economy. And I feel like that overall would improve our nation.
Well said. Interesting to see national service, personnel very interested in agric. Let me come to you, Mordecai.
I wanted to touch on the last point she mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you realize that, was it last week, we were talking about CD depreciation.
Yeah.
So if we are to invest in agriculture, all these CD will be circulating in the community, the Ghanaian community, without we going to the foreign country to import rice. We can make our rice over here, and then the local farmers will get money again. The local people will get jobs to do. So it is for this reason National Service Personnel we sat and they thought that agriculture is a wise idea that people who have gone to school can invest into.
Very much should invest too.
So I'm even happy you mentioned that it is within the service. This year, President Mahama came out with a renewed agricultural agenda to help Ghanaians produce and patronize their own locally made foods, right?
Yes.
So as national service personnel, hardly would you find people, wanting to venture into agric. And so I'm excited about the fact that you're coming up with this initiative. But where lies the interest? As executives, how do you ensure that your colleagues in and out of Accra become interested in agric?
Actually, we did a simple survey and then we realized that some of the individuals are interested. So, but the problem is how they get their lands.
Okay.
So we got it to our regional director, and then she assured that if any of the service personnel needs a land, we should write to the regional office and then they can secure a land for them.
Okay.
And so for that, it is assured. National Service Association has something done for national service persons who want to engage into farming activity
So with
or
this, it is
agriculture.
willingly, or it is going to be forced on them?
It can't be forced on anyone. But for me, I've started some goat farming. I've started with 2 goats.
Hey, good.
Yes. One male and then a female. And then I know that the female will reproduce and then I'll be making a lot of money
That's
from.
the mindset.
And I think I just want to add to that, that I believe that one of the main reasons why people don't see this industry as a lucrative industry is because there is a breach in education.
Yeah.
A lot of them have this misconception that farming is for the uneducated. Farming is for those in rural communities. But this is a highly untapped industry.
Yeah.
And aside from even dealing with it at the manufacturing level, there are so many areas you can focus on in the supply chain that you would target. You can even focus on providing logistics for this industry, and you would be earning so much. Research has actually proved it. If you have conversations with stakeholders, they'll tell you that if you enter into the food industry, there's no way you can go broke because people constantly need to eat. You would this industry is never going to go extinct because we constantly need to feed ourselves and we constantly need to live. It's a necessity in our living experience.
Monica made mention of the fact that he has started with 2 goats. What are you also working on?
I personally, as I said, I am not good in the laboring, but I am going to use my voice. Yes, please. So I've been using my voice to project this as an industry that young people, we can all partner in. I personally, I have plans of focusing on the logistics aspects of this industry. Basically, bridging the gap between, because one of the main problems with the agricultural industry is transporting the goods from the farms to the markets. So that's the area that I personally am working at targeting. But for the vision I have, I definitely would need resources.
Since you mentioned that you have the voice to speak, to issues like this, let's look at some of the locally produced foods that are often overlooked, but very, very healthy. Let's talk about them. Let's list a few. Monica, I'll come to you to also look at the health benefits, know.
Just yesterday, my grandmother gave me yam and consomme stew. I really loved it. I really, really loved it. Aside from it being very, very delicious, it's also very rich in vitamin K and iron. The green leafy vegetables offers you vitamin K and iron, which is very, very good for your general living experience. And I believe that's one. Also,
so yam and consomme.
Yes. And a staple, a Ghanaian favorite, wachi. It's beans and rice. So you have your protein, you have your carbohydrates, and you can add a bit of leafy vegetables to it just to give it a whole complete meal.
To make it look very colorful as
well.
Very true. Locally produced foods. Mordecai, let's look at the health benefits. We've mentioned it, but someone might also be wondering, this is, how do I put it, a fleeting show. And so let's assume that someone just tuned in to Clock TV right now. Let's mention the health benefits of consuming locally produced foods.
So let me take pear.
Okay. Is that your favorite?
I wanted you to ask me my food.
Okay. So no, wait. Let's not skip that. Before we move to the health benefits, which one is your favorite?
So you should ask me.
Don't mention gobe because that's my favorite.
No. So me, I like banku very much.
Okay, banku.
So you grind some hot pepper. You get your fried fish, and then you add your pear. That was why I wanted to talk about
pear. Okay, so let's move to pear.
So with the pear, if you are aware, if you take in pear, 1, it reduces constipation.
Okay.
2,
very important.
Your skin, it becomes very fresh.
Okay.
You don't need any proclair. You need pear to make your skin very fresh. And so, if you have these local foods, consume them. There's no need for you to go and buy. I'm not saying pizza is not good. I know.
Well, you just mentioned it.
No, I know. Right?
Yeah.
When
once a while we can try, these.
Once in a while you should try it, but pick the food I eat.
personally feel like even with pizza, I think it's even possible for us to bring our own authentic twists to that as Ghanaian
Just
people.
let's assume you have pizza with slices of pear on it.
Hey.
Or pizza with beans and small red oil.
I'm wondering.
It would be very
that's
nice.
very interesting.
Yeah.
When you talk about beans also, you know protein. And so these local foods are very good, and then we venture into it. You venture into it, you get money, you create jobs for local people, money circulating into the country. The issue of city depreciation will be a thing of the past, and then we'll be helping the government.
All right.
Very
Speaking
true.
about money, Nanaya, let me ask you, how does purchasing locally produced food support our farmers and even our rural areas? Because usually they are the ones we don't even see the growth, reflecting on. It is usually the market people that benefit the most. And so how do we support our local farmers or in our rural communities?
For that, I believe one of the main reasons why the farmers don't get to see the end of their profits is because of the middlemen. So some middlemen would purchase the produce at a very reduced cost and sell it in the markets at a higher cost, which makes there's always a difference in the purchasing. I personally believe that one of the ways we can help increase, are you asking how we can increase purchasing? Can you repeat the question again?
How do we support our farmers, to economically grow? Because at the end of the day, they transport their goods to the markets women or the markets people, and then they get, the higher bit of the profit. How do we support our farmers?
I feel like the answer I would give would be a bit theoretical and far-fetched. But as I said, one of the problems is the middlemen.
Yeah.
So I think creating an app that allows the farmers to have direct access to those that would be selling in the markets would be a way to reconcile that breach. At the same time, as I said, logistics is very important. Imagine there was an app created for this logistics that the farmer himself can control just at the tap of a button. It just helps things to seemingly flow, and he's still in control of everything that is ongoing, because he might not be able to know how his product is being sold in the market, but at least now he's in control of it from his end, how it gets there, and the person he's selling it to.
That's quite an interesting perspective. But realistically, do you think this, is feasible enough enough to be practiced? Because most of our farmers, sorry to say, are illiterate. Developing an app on a phone, how many of them even use smartphones? And so how is this really, really going to work?
That's why I said that the idea I have is a bit far-fetched. But I believe that, I think saying again that they are illiterate, I understand they are illiterate, but the way to solve an illiterate problem is education. So if it was, government has come out with many initiatives, even the use of mobile money, the use of the Ghana card for verification, all of these things. I mean, when it's elections, we all know even the biometric process is an electronic process, but we are very willing to educate the people because we know how important it is that they vote. So if we are wanting to make this really happen, we can push and actually make the investments to educate these farmers on, okay, I know you will not understand everything about this app, but just this and this, I can make you understand that if you press this, if you go through this. Then again, too, I understand the point that you're making about it not being too feasible because the farmers are illiterate. I wish we could create a consolidated system where the government would be able to create, invest in the farmers in a way that allows them to be able to have access to all of these innovations that I'm speaking about.
Interesting. Let me just come in with this, because President Mahama has spoken about how to create a stronger market system for our local markets, connecting them to direct consumers.
Yes.
And so this idea of yours, is
It's
really, yeah,
far-fetched. Yes.
it's going to help, but it looks like a long-term,
Yeah.
solution to our problem. We are hoping that that will be considered, because I know big men, watch Koko Digest, and so that will be very, very considered as well. But let me come to Mordecai. I'm happy about the fact that national service personnel are now getting into the system of agri, locally produced system. And so with the issue of, farmers not getting direct contact with their consumers, what will be slashed? Because now you are educated, you know how to go about your product and all that. But you said you have two goats, right? You are into the business. How do you see, the farming process for you? Do you think it's stressful? Do you think it's demanding? How is it for you?
So rearing animals is very stressful. And then especially doing it in the city. You see, you need to get them food. They need the plantain leaves, they need the cassava peel, they need all sort of leaves. And then Accra is a city where you have big buildings around. Where am I going to take these goods to so that they get some feed?
Yeah.
So I always need to go to the local shop bar to get peel, the cassava peel. Always for these goods, I need to get to some homes. I intrude into some homes and then cut the plantain leaves for the goats.
For the goats.
Sometimes when they catch me, it becomes
So it looks very demanding for you, right?
It becomes a whole lot of problem. But the thing is, I know what I'm pursuing.
Yeah.
I know the vision. Until I end,
You're not stopping.
I'm not stopping.
Interesting. Nanaya, let me come to you. We're wrapping up shortly. Mordecai, prepare to tell us about your upcoming program. But Nanaya, briefly,
Yes.
we are in this time and age where young people prefer these, continental dishes, those pizza and all that. How do you think we can make locally produced foods attractive to get a lot of people to purchase it? Because if it is not, and then you go into the farming, just like Mordecai is saying, you produce the goods and nobody's
purchasing.
It's a problem. How do we make it very attractive?
I believe that we need to bring a modern twist to our locally produced meals. And the reason why those continental dishes are attractive to the young people and to the market is because people have spent time exploring spices, exploring ways to improve on the meal and make it.
They add value to it.
Exactly,
Yes.
they add value to it. It's there's branding involved.
Yes.
What you are happy about,
Packaging.
What you're happy about, like fried rice, for instance, it's for instance, it's from the Asian countries, and they spent years perfecting their art, years perfecting the taste. And if you go and ask an Asian man right now, what goes into making the fried rice, it's years of exploring, years of knowing, okay, maybe if I added this and it tasted better. And they've perfected it and you love it and now you're making it yours. But imagine if we put in that same investment, that same time, and that same intellect into our own meals. There's so much that could come out of it and we'd end up loving our own meals just as much as we love theirs.
Well said. Monica,
We just need to add value to it, yes.
yeah, it's all about value, right?
It's all about value.
Yeah.
So right now, Honorable John Dumelu,
Yeah.
you buy from him because he has added value to whatever he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if I want to start something, I'll add value to it. Blue skies, I bought mango.
Right? Right.
And then you see the packaging is very nice.
Right.
Even if it is 100 cedis,
You will still buy
maybe
it.
you will buy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The packaging is very nice.
Yes, it's very true.
So my producer is saying the conversation is, getting interesting, so we should extend the time. But Monica, come in with your upcoming program so that Nanaya will also tackle other questions. What is Ghana? Is it Ghana West or Ghana
Ghana
East
Yes,
coming up
please.
with?
So we are the National Service Personnel Association from Ghana East. And then we are coming up with a program called Patashi. Patashi is a Ghana word
For kitchen.
called kitchen.
Oh, okay.
So because we are in the
Ga.
Ga community, we wanted to use a Ga name so that it make it
Patashi.
Patashi.
What does it mean?
It
Kitchen.
Do we
means
have
kitchen.
some kitchen?
Yeah, it means
okay,
kitchen.
okay.
And then you see the theme. It says the future is green, celebrating food, farming, and then innovation.
Okay.
So The future is green.
But why did
Just-
you use a green background for the flyer?
Unfortunately, for that, I think we would blame our graphic designer, but we're too pressed for time, so we just had to pull out with that.
Because this is giving like enjoyment vibes. We are not seeing the green in it.
Yes, you see, I
My
like
hand.
enjoyment, but Nanaya likes the agri-fair part.
Okay. So it is a whole package,
It's a
right?
whole package.
Okay, so what are the activities like?
So, you see, I'm talking about Patashi. I'll talk about the entertainment part, and then she will talk about the agri-fair part.
Okay.
So
let's
I like
hear the
entertainment.
part.
Because this program will be happening at the Gaia Guest House. There's a
Okay.
pool over there.
Where is
So
that located?
It's located at Atomic Runabout,
Yes,
so near the
yeah.
Atomic Police Station.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
NAS
And the
University.
date again?
So right now, it's still on hold. So you see, the flyer has anticipated.
Anticipate. Okay, okay. Now, Nanaya, come in with the agri-fair part of this whole celebration.
So for the agri-fair, what we are doing is that we've spoken to stakeholders, people that are standing and honing as moguls in the industry, to come and mentor the people, tutor the people, make them understand the technicalities of the industry, how to enter into the industry, the tools required to be in the industry. And as I was saying, you don't just have to be a farmer. There are so many avenues within the supply chain that you can be a part of. So that's the aspect. The agriculture fair would be about educating the young people so that we can raise our awareness, mentor them, and possibly gather a whole army that would want to push and invest into that.
Interesting. In a word or two.
So, with Patashi itself, one, it's centered on sensitizing the youths of Ghana, people of Ghana East, and then people around the world. I know we have foreigners watching Koko Digest this morning. So, tilts their mind to agriculture as an avenue of generating income for ourselves. One. Two, as an avenue of reducing CD depreciation.
Exactly.
You see,
Very
national
important.
service personnel of Ghana East, we are also thinking about the government, and then we are also thinking about John Mahama.
Yeah.
We cannot say the government should do
Everything.
whatever they want to do,
Yes.
and then we sit and then fold our.
It's very important that you're saying that, because a lot of times when we talk about the government, people have in mind the leaders in parliament or the leaders that are overseeing them.
Yes.
But if you look at the definition of government, you are inclusive in government. Yeah, so I really love what you're saying.
And so we feel we can do this to help the government. And so whoever wants to come on board,
Yes,
we are calling on you.
very much.
Government, we are calling on you because we are helping you.
Yes.
You can come and support in kind or in cash.
We would love,
It shouldn't be they can. They should support
yes, we
this
would really
initiative.
love if we could get partners on board with us to make this happen. Yes.
Okay, so I just want you to say a message to any national service personnel watching this. I know you guys are done with your service, but just say a word or two to them in relation to this topic. Nanaya, you can do that so that we wrap up.
Okay, so I'm going to say I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I would say in brief that I understand that currently as a national service personnel, one of the things that you're thinking about is what next for me? Where do I go next? What do I do with my life? And I'm giving you an opportunity and showing you that there's a pathway available for you. And there are so many opportunities for you in Ghana. You don't need to think far. You don't need to think wide. Ghana is home, and you can make the best out of it.
You can make the best out of it. Nanaya Boatema is a National Service Personnel Association women's organizer. She works with part-time nursing and midwifery as a National Service Personnel. We also had Mordecai Kinney, a National Service Personnel Association vice president. And he works with the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission as a national service personnel as well. They were my guests for today as we discussed a lifestyle topic that has to do with, from the farms to our tables, embracing local foods. I hope you have learned something. This is an opportunity for you. If you are a national service personnel thinking of what to do next, grab onto this. This is a very, very big opportunity. You're going to make some, cash, and you'll be enjoying life. as well. Thank you so much. Now let's do some birthdays, and then we'll have the sports team and business team take us away.
I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday.
And welcome back. Now let's take our first birthday celebrant. Okay, so we have this from Mrs. Owusu, and it says, "May God bless you with long life and good health. You are blessed. Happy birthday, Mrs. Make. Mrs. Make. A happy birthday going out to you." This is from Mrs. Owusu, and she says, "A happy birthday. May God bless you with long life and good health. You are blessed." Okay, and a happy birthday going out to Noya. Noya, you are loved, you are cherished. We love you so much. Happy birthday going out to you. Today is your birthday. You are doing amazing, and we are here supporting you in everything that you do. May God continue to enlarge your coast. A happy birthday to you. James Tay Bennett has joined me here to take us into the world of sports. Yesterday, Ghana met with Mali, and it was an eyesore. People were disappointed, even though we won. There are, comments on the streets that Ghana didn't really play to our satisfaction. The Black Stars we know is not what we saw. Over the weekend, we also had an inter-schools, gala at Pimpamsie Hotel as part of the Fetu Afashe, Ogwa Fetu Afashe. James will be taking us into that as well. Hello, James.
Hi, Mimi.
James, the striker or the defender.
The defender.
Defender. And you were able to score that. We have a video of that to show.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get into that. What do we have for sports today?
It's all about the Black Stars. I mean, we'll be going to the game.
We've qualified.
We are not yet. We have 2 more games to go. But then we have to win just one.
Just one?
Just one.
What happens if we don't win in our next match?
You see, now Comoros, we are just leading with 3 points.
Okay.
And we have 2 games to spare, which is 6 points. And Comoros is behind us with 15 points.
Okay.
So in case we lose the 2 matches and Comoros win their 2 matches, or win 1 and draw 1, then we'll be out.
Let's take the sports breaker. When we come back, James will take us into All right. So we have the striker with us, Ghana's finest striker, James Tay Bernard. Oh, you said you're a defender.
I'm a left back, a defender.
So James, over the weekend, we were at Pimpamsie Cape Coast.
Yeah, sure.
And we had our inter-sports gala, right?
Yeah.
Inter-schools gala.
Gala,
and you
sure.
represented Accra Academy.
Yes.
What happened, James?
I mean, it was a good game, a good tournament in a whole. I mean, and Accra being the defending champions, we thought it twice to win again because we've been winning for the past 3-4 years. So we thought it twice to win again. But then Ghana Nationals, in the finals, they brought in their A game, and then we lost. I mean, but it was fun. It was good. I mean, we enjoyed every part of it, and I think the organizers did very, very, very well. Because Clock TV did well as well. I mean, the quality of...
Do we have highlights?
Yeah, we have highlights. I mean,
so I think we can take a look at that, and then we'll see how it went. James is telling us that it was, a great tournament. The organizers did well. Okay, so that is James over there.
Yeah, that's a nice free kick from me. I mean, It was a good one. I mean,
Marcelo.
yeah, technique. It was a really good one. And let's talk about the pitch. I mean, quality. You see, we did 2 programs before the tournament. So on Friday it was old school vibes.
Yeah.
Saturday reggae night,
yeah.
and on Sunday we played. But the pitch was because they covered the pitch.
I see.
They covered.
Yeah.
That's what we've always been saying, that anytime we there is Shatawale performing at the Accra Sports Stadium or any event, we need to cover up the pitch so that at the end of the day, the pitch wouldn't spoil. We will not get so much holes. I mean, when you see, because of the stage that they mount on the pitch and all those things, if you don't cover it, I mean, it will destroy the pitch. So we always have to cover the pitch. And at Pimpam say they did very, very well with that.
Interesting. What other news is making waves in sports?
So we'll go straight into the game yesterday, and Black Stars game. Before, Mimi, we've always been talking about how to maintain our stadium, not just the pitch, but the seat that we all sit on when we go to the stadium. So before the game, some supporters were very angry because they got there and they need to, I mean, use their handkerchiefs and face towels to clean up the seats before they sit on.
I also saw that video.
Yeah. So we have a video of it. Let's go and listen to how the supporters were reacting to that.
Okay.
I count a nation. A nation I ever do the right thing at the right time. When you are fine. It's so nice. I did always say, if you want to say you go start with but this. We should send up for the night. So just imagine it's a Mali for West Ham Stadium, no more room. Yeah, Ghana, you develop a Mali, far. But look at this.
So, Mimi, this is very serious.
Before this, I mean, before the match, I saw someone also taking a video of the pitch itself, and the person was praising, you know, GFA and Otuado, like they are doing well. Look at the pitch. I didn't know that the
NSA did well with the pitch, forgetting that supporters will be, yes.
How much did they pay for?
It was 30 cedis, 50 cedis, and I think 20 cedis and 1,000 cedis.
1,000 cedis?
For VVIP.
Wow.
I mean, so, yeah.
And you go and sit on this.
Maybe the VIP and the VVIP session, by the popular stand. So,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, so let's go straight into the highlights of the game.
Okay.
Well, the shot comes in from distance and the keeper, well, a slight fumble. Touch. Instead of running into trouble. Now Kudus will try and get in behind here. Kudus trying to use some pace. Still Kudus goes down in the byline. Kudus with the cutback and on the turn, brilliant save. And I think deflected out for a corner, no goal kick. My word, the keeper had to turn that one onto the crossbar. It turned into a brilliant save from Shigri Diarra. And now the corner comes into the back post and he's fumbled it. And there's the opener. Ghana are taking the lead. It's Alexander Jiku. Moments after. Let's have another look here. Corner comes in. Keeper comes for it. Misjudges it completely. And just bundled in at the back post. Only 2 yellow shirts in that 6-yard box. Not quite find the pass. And now the ball comes to a yellow shirt. Well, going to be a yellow card at the end of this move. But meanwhile, still coming forwards here, Kudus.
So, Mimi, that was that. We won by a goal to nil by our The game, Coach Tom, the coach of the Malian national team, said the way we set up is like we were afraid of them. That's why we set up like we were defending. So let's go and listen to what Coach Tom said.
It showed that they were afraid of us. They played with 5 people. We knew they played against Madagascar, also with 5 in the back. They won, I think, 3-0 that game. But we expected Ghana what would be more offensive. If you have the power of Semenya, Adu, Kudus, Williams, and all the attacking wingbacks, you could punish us in the first half with very offensive play at home, get the public behind you. That was our thought. I thought Ghana will start very aggressive attacking football against us to kill us in the first 15 minutes at home, for sure, after the not so good performance against Chad. So I was surprised that they started a little bit conservative with 5 people in the back. And so we had to adapt in it. We didn't expect it.
So, Mimi, that was that. He was of the view that, I mean, from the attackers that we have, the likes of Mohamed Kudus, Semenyo, and the rest, we could have done better, but it's like we were defending. So he thought it was like, I mean, we could have done much better. We could have scored them more and stuff.
Because some people have even said that Mali is not a team that is close to Black Stars, like Ghana.
In recent times, you can't say that.
We can't say that.
Yeah, in recent times, because our performance is not too good that you can stand or you can boast of yourself that Ghana will score each and every game that we go into. So I think everybody is trying, every national team is trying to build character and a good team. So I think Mali is not just a small team. I mean, Mali is not a small team. So after that, Coach Otuado said, I mean, we can talk about tactics and everything, but then it's just the goal that we need. We needed to win and we won. And he also praised the debutant, Kwesi Sibo, that he did very, very well too.
So this is football, you know, sometimes you have to switch the tactics. I knew that they needed to win. So we played a little bit more defensively and we had good headers in our team because we have 3 tall defenders and at the end, this is his opinion, it's okay, I understand, and I had my tactics, or we had our tactics, and we decided well, I think, because what's most important is the 3 points, and we got it, and that's fine. First of all, big congrats for him. I think he really did well. It's not easy to come from, I said it before, from a different environment to fit in the squad. But he knows a lot of players already in the team, and he connected well. He's very, very confident, and I think he did really extremely well, especially when you see that this was his first performance, and he's a warrior. Throughout, you could see. I think for the future things will even get better, but like all players, his performance in this club will decide for his next caller, but the next window is so close that I'm pretty sure that he will be called again. Yeah.
So, Mimi, that's from our coach Otuado, and I think Kwesi Sibo did very, very well. I mean, he added a lot of vibe, energy to our midfield. So Partey went and joined the attack so that, I mean, he brought in his true passes.
Is this first time playing?
Yeah. His first time playing for the national team.
Then he really did well.
Yeah, because we drew against Chad, so we were all doubting whether the Ghanaians or the supporters will fill the stadium. But then, I mean, we filled the stadium to capacity.
Of course. Ghanaians will say, we don't love Black Stars.
We filled the stadium to capacity. I mean, when we're coming back from Cape Coast, when we're about to get around 2:33, that way you could see people going to the stadium.
Trooping into the stadium.
And after the game, I mean, the FA president, he was very, very happy, dancing, moving around. And I think, I mean, there was a lot of pressure on him. I mean, we needed to win, and so you could see this one, the supporters. I mean, massive. And we really love the game. So I think our leaders should do do their possible best to, I mean, help develop the game.
Whilst they are doing their possible best, we are also pleading with government to pay any outstanding debts. You know, GTV, we are told that is owing some rights or debts rights on giving coverage of these local matches.
Yeah.
This is a match that happened in our home.
And
we couldn't...
Yeah.
There's no way you
no
could
local
watch.
television station showed it. I mean, only
It's very
DSTV.
bad.
So
We need to
earlier
talk
on, I
about
heard
it.
you guys talking about
Yeah.
DSTV and only DSTV showed the game. So we were all watching online using the online.
And even when you are streaming online, the network is bad. So
Yeah,
it should be
so,
very
I mean-
clear. We are pleading, government, we want to participate in this match, not only on the stadium. But
Sure.
we also want to watch.
Mimi, these are the few stories I have for our viewers this morning.
Thank you so much, James, for bringing us sports this morning. And that was very, very insightful over there. And we like your goal, the goal you scored back. We like it. We would want more of that. Let me take this birthday message. A happy 101st birthday to the Prophet Press Rizal M. Nelson, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We, the members, are really honored and blessed to have you as a prophet, a seer, and a president for the church. I'm very grateful for your counseling and talks. Once again, happy birthday to you. It has no name. Thank you so much for bringing in your birthday message. Now, we have Peter Insia on standby to take us into some business news. Let's take that and then we'll move straight into our main discussion.
Good morning and welcome to the Business Update segment on the Koko Digest Morning Show. And as usual on this show, we provide you with the latest in the world of business, expert analysis and market trends that will impact your business and investment decision. My name is Peter Insia. Now let's get started with our first story. The Treasury market recovered last week after 4 consecutive weeks of undersubscription. For the first time in a month, government's latest Treasury bill auction was oversubscribed. Fresh data from the Bank of Ghana shows that investors tendered a total of 4.38 billion cedis across 91, 182, and 364-day bills. Out of this, the Treasury accepted 4.36 billion cedis, beating a target of 3.78 billion cedis by more than 15%.
A closer look shows that 3.62 billion cedis was taken from the 91-day bids. For the 182-day, 566 million cedis was accepted, while 182 million was taken from the 364-day bill. Analysts say the oversubscription was driven by a relatively modest target and strong investor demand. Meanwhile, yield moved slightly at the short end of the curve. The 91-day yield edged up to 10.42%. The 182-day rose to 12.41%, while the 364-day slipped to 12.97%.
Away from Treasury bill, the Electricity Company of Ghana has requested a 225% increase in its distribution service charge. The proposal submitted to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission seeks to raise the charge from 19 pesos per kilowatt hour to nearly 62 pesos between 2025 and 2029. The ECG argues the current tariff is inadequate, noting that the DSC1 makes up only 11% of electricity costs, compared to a global benchmark of around 30%. The company also points to a 74% depreciation of the cedi since 2022, which it says has eroded its revenues by almost half.
To address these bottlenecks, ACPG has developed a cashew framework aimed at securing raw materials, improving processing standards, and expanding both domestic and international markets. The association also intends to strengthen collaboration with governments, farmers, and development partners to boost capacity and sustain jobs. If achieved, the 85,000-ton annual target will create thousands of direct and indirect jobs, improve farmer livelihoods, and support Ghana's ambition to become a global hub for value-added cashew production.
And on to our last story, the Association of Cashew Processors, Ghana, has announced plans to process 85,000 metric tons of cashew annually by 2026. The target is expected to create thousands of jobs, increase farmer earnings, and strengthen Ghana's role in the global cashew industry. The announcement came after a working tour of cashew processing factories in the Middle Belt, including Tachimai and Sunyani. The visit allowed the association to assess industry challenges and engage with processors, workers, and local communities.
Although the sector holds strong potential, it faces several hurdles. These include irregular supply of raw cashew nuts due to weak farmer processor leakages, fluctuating prices, high operational costs, limited financing options, competition from raw nut export, low adoption of modern technology, costly international certifications, and inadequate enforcement of policies. These challenges have limited processors' ability to operate at full capacity and remain competitive globally.
And this is all we have for you on the Business Update segment. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Peter Insia. Up next is the main discussion with Miriam Abena Adede. Stay tuned.
You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. It is time for our last part of the conversation, the main conversation itself. Today we are discussing how to promote cleanliness in our communities for a healthier Ghana. And just as I mentioned in my intro, we have a guest, a public health director from AMA with us in the studio, and she's going to help us with a conversation. Intermittently, we'll also have a phone-in session with some reps from the volunteer group Bus Stop Boys. They will also be sharing their take on volunteering in cleaning our communities, the impact they've made so far. And so this conversation is open to you at home watching us. You can engage us via our streaming platforms, Facebook and also YouTube. And also on our WhatsApp number, which is displayed on your screen right now. And you can ask any question at all related to the topic we are discussing today. So on Saturday, September 6, 2025, the President of Ghana officially launched the National Sanitation Day, a groundbreaking initiative aimed at mobilizing citizens across the country to prioritize hygiene and cleanliness in their communities. This initiative underscores the government's commitment to improving public health and creating a cleaner environment for all Ghanaians. Now, the National Sanitation Day will be observed on the first Saturday of every month, encouraging communities to come together for organized cleanup activities. Now, the President also emphasized the importance of collective responsibility, urging every citizen to take ownership of their surroundings. By fostering a culture of cleanliness, the initiative aims to reduce the spread of disease linked to poor sanitation and to enhance the quality of life in urban and rural areas alike. In his speech, the President highlighted the role of local governments, community organizations, and schools in promoting sanitation awareness and participation. Special emphasis will be placed on engaging youth who are vital to the success of this initiative, as they will be empowered to lead clean-up campaigns and educate their peers about the importance of maintaining a clean environment. Now, the launch of the National Sanitation Day marks a significant step towards a healthier, more sustainable Ghana and reflects the government's dedication to ensuring that every citizen can live in a safe and clean environment. Together, through this initiative, we can build a brighter future for our nation. Joining me in the studio today is Madam Florence Sumala Ankunyi.
Kunchi.
Okay. She will pronounce her name herself. She's actually my countrywoman. She's the Public Health Director of AMA. She's been here several times to speak on this particular topic. And so this is not new to us all. We keep, reiterating the fact that we need to keep our environments clean, because a clean environment will lead to a healthier life. And just as I said, the Bus Stop Boys will also be joining us on the phone session. Hello, ma.
Hello.
Can you please pronounce your name again?
So my name is Florence Kunchi. Let's forget about the middle one.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later. My name is Florence Kunchi. That is how I'm known in...
Okay. So Madam Florence Kunchi, what does this initiative, brought up by President mean to all of us in Greater Accra?
Thank you very much. Let me say good morning to your cherished viewers. I bring you greetings from my mayor, Honorable Michael Alotepapo, the action man. Yes. So, first of all, sanitation. Sanitation is a foundational to human dignity. Not just to human dignity, but to public health and also environmental sustainability. Everything is sanitation, even linking from plants, animals to human beings. Without proper sanitation, no living organism can survive. Poor sanitation leads to diseases outbreaks and lead to child mortality and even economic loss. Why? Because the environment that everyone is born in, every individual is born into an environment. But depending on your survival depends on the kind of environment that you are born in. So it is important that we ensure proper sanitation in wherever we find ourselves. Talking about the relaunch of the National Sanitation Day, it is very important. is because sanitation is not an individual thing. It is a collective effort. Everybody plays your role, I play my role, then we have a clean environment. Then to have a clean environment, you need some frontline workers that will ensure that every community is clean, every community is healthy through risk assessment. And who are these frontline workers? These frontline workers are the environmental health officers that we call the Samasama or the tankers.
Okay.
People are saying they are not there. There is no community you enter that you will not see an environmental health officer. It's just unfortunate that gone were the days they were visible through their uniform. But today, the uniform aspect is not there. Not because the Samasama doesn't want to wear the uniform, but because the uniform is not available or readily accessible to the Samasama. That is why they move in Mufti. So, on Saturday, we all heard the president saying that everybody need to do their bit. Let's come back to people who throw waste into the drains. Let's use the drain as your blood vessel. When your blood vessel is clogged, what happened? Your system jam up because there is no free flow of blood up and down. It's the same way when we dispose of refuse into the drains by way of this is not where you sleep, this is not this. Then when it rains, the bloodstream of the drain is clogged. And when it rains, the free flow of the water that is supposed to go through is not there. That leads to what? Flooding. So sanitation has a link to a lot of things. Good sanitation boosts education. It also increases workplace productivity. As we are sitting here, if the environment here we find ourselves is not sanitized, it's not hygienic, we can't sit here. It is not just about the waste we see outside. Sanitation goes beyond the waste we see outside. Yes.
I think over the weekend, I spoke to you earlier on this.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, we saw a video circulating with the Greater Accra Regional Minister standing by a heap of filth. And she was describing where this filth is located, close to the AMA building. Yeah. And the president has also emphasized that every citizen must take ownership of their own surroundings. You also mentioned that if you have a clean environment, work, productivity grows and all that. This field is close to the AMA. Why do you allow such a gathering to be close to the AMA building?
Okay, so I am not going to defend anybody. I'm just going to be real as it is. It was a Sunday.
Okay.
The assembly, we work during the night.
Okay.
And there are people who give their waste to these junkies.
Okay.
And they go putting the waste at any vantage place that they get.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
That is why the sanitation task force is very important. Because with the inception of the sanitation task force, led by the environmental health officers in all the assemblies, they are going to be in the field throughout all the days. Sundays are days people know that workers don't come to work.
Okay.
You understand? So if workers don't come to work, waste should not even be seen there. But because people know that workers are not on grounds on Sunday, they take advantage of that to do that. Believe you me, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, we carry our waste in the night.
Okay.
That place may be a place that we do road dumping. But because it was a Sunday and the waste was collected in the night, and the following morning, people has brought waste from their various homes to come and dump in there. You understand? And at that moment, when we were unfortunate that the minister got there before we were there. So, as we said, sanitation is everyone's business. Now they are bringing out hotlines all over. When you see waste, you just call the hotline to be worked on. Truly, it was not even up to 30 minutes when the video circulated and the waste was collected. But one thing I keep saying, sanitation is not static. It keeps growing. When you collect waste, let me say we are in this house, you get up in the morning, you sweep. The following day, if you don't sweep and somebody come to your house, the person will not know the difference between yesterday sweeping and today not sweeping. That is how sanitation is. It is something that it is a continual activity. And mind you, Accra Metropolitan Assembly has become a dumping ground. People live outside the assembly, but they perform their activities, their trading activities in the assembly. And at the end of the day, they leave all the waste for the assembly to manage. There are times the assembly can use about 70% of IGF to handle waste. You understand? So we are now asking people, it's better we stop doing the one-way waste collection. We call it the linear waste collection. Then we move into what we call the circular economy. Okay. When we move into the circular economy, when we generate the waste, we will separate the waste. After separating the waste, plastic waste can be sent for recycling and be brought back for use. The organic waste can be used for compost manure that we will channel into agribusiness, into agri sector, or in our communities. Now we are fighting with air pollution, heat waves, heat stress, diseases, and all others. This compost can be used in our open spaces for greening to make the city very beautiful.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now let's highlight some community-led initiatives the AMA has embarked on. When it comes to waste collection, sanitation, and all that. Let's look at the positive side.
Yes.
As well. Some initiatives.
So now AMA is doing community ownership models. Community ownership model is a way that every community need to own your waste. We don't do it and leave you. We must do it together. When you own something, you take very good care of it. But if you think that, this thing that I'm holding, it is not mine, it's for somebody, you use it anyhow. So we carry out regular community cleanups. The assembly has 20 electoral areas. And then each electoral area has an assembly member. Assembly members on their own come out to carry out weekly cleanup activities. We have other agencies that also partner with the assembly to carry out cleanup activities over the weekends. Mind you, if we are not able to collect waste just for one night, nobody can go to the city center to perform any activity. Yeah.
Now, the president also mentioned the fact that every first Saturday of the month or every month is what is going to be dedicated as Sanitation Day. This is not new to us. Previously, we see that the first Saturday of the month, if you want to go to Accra, somebody will hint you, may cost our time, we'll wait small. By this time, we are working. But over the years, it stopped and it's coming back again. What do you think AMA is doing to ensure, or is going to do to ensure that this comes to stay forever?
The every first Saturday Sanitation Day is not just for only AMA alone. It's for the whole country. Wherever you are, even if you are not coming to town on the first Sunday early because you think they will be working, your backyard, there's cleanup. Go and take part in the cleanup. Gone were the days, there used to be voluntary cleanup in our communities. Yeah. The chiefs will come out and they will play gong gong. This day we are going to do sanitation and all that. It is an offense not to partake in a sanitation, a general cleanup activity. It is an offense. We have it in our laws, in our bylaws. So when we are conducting Sanitation Day activities and then you do not take part, the law gives us the right to prosecute you. But we just want to move from the prosecution to productivity. Let's do it together. Because when you have a clean community, you will be healthy. Monies that will be channeled to sanitation-related sickness will be used for developmental purposes and will all go ahead. For instance, sanitation-related disease like cholera. When there's cholera outbreak, treatment is free. Yes, treatment is free, but who suffers from the cholera? You know the pain you go through. And if you don't even take care, you might lose your life. You see, for the past year, there has been an increase of 15% sanitation-related diseases in the country. Why? Because people are neglecting the thing that they are supposed to do. Now, people used to sweep their homes when they wake up in the morning. They will sweep. You see people carrying waste up and down. How many people sweep houses? Now, sweeping has become a fight in some compound houses. We shouldn't be. The Bible says that cleanliness is next to godliness. You get up, you leave your house dirty, and you are in the church praying. What results are you looking for? You will not get the needed result, because when God is bringing you the blessings and realize that your house is dirty, that blessings is going away. You understand? So we need to do all these things. As I said, sanitation is not just about the boiler we see outside. There's much into that. Let's talk about how do we use, how many houses have improved and saved toilet facilities in their homes. Now let's move down to Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Let me just do a little rundown data to see something. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly have a total residential premises of 49,861. Just only residential premises. So when I talk where people are living, sleeping, and waking up, that is residential premises. Not all premises. All premises is over 50,000. But so out of this 49,861, it is only 77% that have improved toilet facilities in their houses. What happened to the 33? They are practicing open defecation, or they are using public facilities, or they are using some shared facilities. The UN has identified sanitation as human rights. It is not a choice. So every house must have a toilet facility. You can collect all your waste from the city, but if you come and people are defecating all over, the sanitation, you haven't gone anywhere. That is why the sanitation is in two parts. We have the solid waste and the liquid waste. So when you are managing, you need to manage all in holistica. It doesn't just go and leave that. You need to carry out the hygiene education. You need to carry out the inspections. That is when I started, I said you need frontline workers to take charge of the sanitation. That is why the environmental officers are there. We carry out our routine daily inspections. It's only the environmental officer who send our service to the steps of our people. They don't come to us. We send it to them. When you see our people coming to us for service, it means they are in crisis. Okay. Now, let's look at number of houses that have registered for waste collection. It's just about 38% of the 49,000 plus that have registered for proper waste collection. The rest, where does their waste end?
Some would say that, oh, I have a backyard, let me just burn the waste.
It is illegal to burn your waste. Okay. When you take our Criminal Offences Act 29 of 1960, the section 296, subsection 1 going down, it tells you what to do. It spells out what to do in the house when you wake up. When you wake up, this is my house, this is your house. When you wake up, you sweep the frontage of your house. You see the side, you sweep the other side. Then you sweep the back. Me, who is behind your house, will also do the same thing. Then at the end of the day, the community will be clean. When you sweep the waste, don't burn the waste. Because when you are burning the waste, you are polluting the environment.
But sadly, it looks like not everyone is aware of what you are saying right now. So how is the education going out there? Because most people are ignorant of what you are saying.
Yes, it is true. When you take about 45% of tenants are not aware about our laws. And about 50% of landlords are aware of our laws. But let me say about 45% are aware of the laws. So the 45% that are aware of the laws, what are they doing? You understand? Look, the frontline officers that are in charge of the sanitation management, the human workforce is limited. If I tell you the 49,000 plus, we have just less than 30 officers that are supposed to to visit all these premises.
Okay.
Not just only these premises. Every premises that human beings are living, we are supposed to be there to ensure that they are doing things right, to educate them. We don't just do inspection. We assess, we do risk assessment of sanitation issues in communities. And then we enforce the laws. We don't enforce the laws to punish them, but we enforce the law to protect public health.
Interesting. Now, listening to the president, he singled out the youth and also schools as places that should much attention should be driven to. Now, the AMA, what are you also ensuring that or doing to ensure that the youth and then schools get to be very proactive when it comes to sanitation issues?
Good. So AMA, what we are doing now is because we are doing intentional source separation. I can say about 85% of schools within the Accra Metropolitan Assembly have been enrolled on the source separation. And then we link them to recyclers who come to take the reusable materials so that the little that will not be reused can be sent to the dumping site. Why do we do that? We do that because they will get some economic value from the separated waste. When the recycler comes, they will come and pay and take the recyclable ones. Then they will use the money that have been paid for them to pay for the little waste that is left for the people to collect it. Instead of them using a lot of money into that, now it has been reduced. So this is something that we are doing. And we are trying to form sanitation clubs in the schools. Because when you form sanitation clubs in the school, you help them to educate their peers. And then when they educate their peers, we always say that catch them young, they shall grow to be yours. Because the children learn a lot. Things they learn from the school, when they go home and their parents are not doing it, they tell them, my teacher said we should do this, we should do A. Yeah, so these are some of the things AMA is doing in our little way to ensure that the students also partake. Even in the market centers, we are bringing in the source separation at the market centers. See, now we are battling with Mpox. We know that Mpox is not directly sanitation issue, but to manage it, or the agent that is carrying the germ, the virus in it, where do you find rodents? You find rodents at our dumping site. You find rodents in our marketplaces. Why are they there? They are there because we are not doing something right. If we manage the waste properly and they come, they don't get food to eat, they will find their way into the bush, not to be with us, to give us diseases.
All right. Now, let's look at social gatherings. Anytime there is a social gathering somewhere, I don't want to be specific, anywhere, you realize that people tend to dump things around. Over the weekend, we were in Cape Coast for the Afashe festival, and we bought something. After taking it, we wanted to trash, and then my colleague was like, oh, don't they have a dustbin situated, intermittently where someone can just drop something? There are no dustbins. We had to hold our trash till we got to wherever we're going to. Don't you think there is a need for more dustbins to be situated at places where social gatherings are being held? And I bet you that today, if you go to the stadium where yesterday's match was held, you would see a whole lot of fields, over there. Don't you think we need more dustbins or education?
We don't just need dustbins. We need officers.
Officers, okay.
You understand? Because you can place the dustbin there. But if you don't have somebody to manage it, the dustbin will be full and peel off. You understand? We need people, we need to put people in charge of these activities. We need to resource people to carry out some of these activities. One thing I always say is, this country, we are not intentional about sanitation issues. We've more or less left sanitation issues into donors. It's recently 10% of a common fund is being channeled to sanitation. But even when it comes, that one is just about collecting the waste, the infrastructure, the enforcement, the behavioral change, and all other things are not taken care of. Sanitation has both soft and a hard component. The hard component is the The liquid waste we see around, the waste we see around, the excreta we see around, and all that. But the soft aspect is the health promotion, the hygiene promotion, the enforcement, and all that. And if the enforcement, the awareness creation, the education is able to go down well, and the behavior of the people change, we are going to see the realities that will come up to us. But if we are not having these things done properly, people will think that whatever you are doing is false. Sometimes you take somebody to court, punitive activities are just something, nothing to write. You send somebody who has done a falter in sanitation issue, like the person have connected their drain, their septic tank, that is the effluent, into the drain. You see, the effluent is more harmful than the raw excreta, that is the toilet. Because the effluent has stayed in the septic tank and has fermented with all whatever you can think of. Then you connect it through the drain. Mind you, our brothers who are mentally disturbed, sometimes they fetch water from the drain to drink. You see your face. We have the vegetable growers along the drains. They fetch this water to irrigate the vegetable. So you think you are just doing something to help yourself. It goes back to come and hang you. When you punish God, God will just do as if he hasn't seen it. But when you punish nature, nature has its own way in punishing you back. It will go back and bring you disease. And you vomit. You run diarrhea. If you don't take care, you will die. But you will know, you forget that it is because of the single act that you did in your house that has led to that.
This looks like a very, very big fight for the AMA alone to handle. Don't you think it is important that you partner with some volunteer groups like the Bus Stop Boys, you know, in keeping our communities clean?
We need Bus Stop Boys, not necessarily to partner with them. We need people like Bus Stop Boys in every communities. We shouldn't just have Bus Stop Boys in Accra. Every community should have a Bus Stop Boys. You see, I said we are doing the community ownership. That is the volunteerism. Ghanaian youth should begin to volunteer to do activities without thinking of what am I going to get. You understand? Let's volunteer. In the communities, the officers are not many. We can't be at one place, the same place at the same time. That is why we need volunteers. Please, call when there's an issue. Partner with the assembly. We want to carry out a cleanup activity. The assembly will help you. When you are done, we collect the waste. What we don't want is, don't go and do the cleanup activity without involving the assembly. Then when you are done, you leave the waste there. Because we are not aware, then people will go and see the waste and say the assembly is not working. We want to work together. Let's collaborate. Sanitation is a collaborative effort. It's not an individual thing. It is not for the government alone to do it. It's not for the Sama alone to do it. It's not for assemblies alone to do it. It's for all of us. If you are a chief, if you are a student, if you are a trader, if you are a corporate worker, wherever you are, we must all come together to work.
Well said. If you just joined us, this is the Koko Digest Morning Show. The main discussion, we are discussing how to promote cleanliness in our communities for a healthier Ghana. And Madam Florence, a public health director with the AMA, is here giving us more insight. I can see that a lot of you are calling our WhatsApp number. Please, we haven't activated our phone lines. This is just for WhatsApp. And so if you have concerns, please send them to us. Send a text so that we read it out, and then she will answer every question you want to ask her. If you have suggestions, opinions, just bring them. We'll read everything out, and then you will feel involved in our conversation. So send us a text. The WhatsApp number is on your screen right now. I don't know if our producer would activate the phone lines, but I think they are still working on it. We have a message here which says, "Hello, Koko Digest. Good morning. Enjoying the discussion. Thank you. Miss Mimi, my question is to AMA. What are some effective ways to engage citizens in keeping their communities clean? Because if you come to my community, it is worse." This is from Mr. Eric Asante in Alajo.
Okay, so you see, Alajo is not AMA. You understand? Yeah. That is why I say the sanitation is not for only AMA. It's for everybody, every district. And every district, you know, every district has environmental health officers at the district. They have environmental health office at the district. If you have a complaint, just move to the district, wherever you find yourself. When you go there and you give your complaint, they will help you. Uncle Eric, you can initiate a community cleanup. Just initiate, get some people to join you, then you move to the assembly. That is, Alaju is either Ayawaso Central. Okay. Yes. When you move to, or it's either Ayawaso Central or is Okankwe North, one of these. Yeah. When you identify the assembly where your place is, please get some people to connect to you. Do a cleanup activity. The assembly is ready to help you with resources, so that if we are able to do sustainable cleanup activities, I think it is going to be of help. Then we should also learn how not to litter. We should learn how. You come and tell me that there are no bins. How should they? What should they do? Yes, there are no bins. The reason is because of our behaviors. You put litter bins in vantage points, people carry their waste from their homes and come and put it inside.
Well said, Ma. We have a video of the president talking about the Sama you were mentioning. Let's take a look at that. The bus stop boys are also on standby to talk to us. Let's take a look at that video.
Now they call them environmental officers, or is it hygiene officers? But let me tell you, those who are called tangas were more feared than you. You become abrofo officers. Oh, you shouldn't keep your place dirty. Yeah, why do you have paper here? There's summer when they were coming, my mother and everybody will be running around and picking up anything, disposing of water that can breed malaria, larvae, and all that. Because if they come and see one thing that is out of sync, summer straight, they'll summon you to court. And when you go to court, they'll fine you. Also create a deterrence so that people know that, yes, while we expect you to live by these values, if you go against those values, there's a certain sanction that you must bear. And that is why between the district assemblies, the environmental officers, and I'll come to our traditional authorities, we have to create a system where people are sanctioned for breaking the sanitation bylaws. As I said, we decided today to recognize these selfless, community-spirited young people who for several years, using their own resources, their energy and strength, continue to volunteer to keep our city clean. My attention was drawn to them, as I said, last year, and that was because they were appealing for a tricycle to be able to cut away the garbage when they have removed it. Tricycle is aboboya, for those of you who don't know a tricycle. And so I donated a tricycle to them. And since then, I've been seeing the good work they do. They take a long stretch, they remove the pavement slabs, and they go into the gutter and scoop the gutter. And by the time they finish, you see water is flowing through the drain. So today we decided to honor them and make a presentation to them so that it can facilitate their work. And so I got the Chief of Staff and the Ministry of Local Government to put their heads together. And they have these items that are arranged over there. They have 200 wheelbarrows. They have 300 shovels. They have 300 brooms. That is the local broom, prior. And then the one with a stick, standing broom. There are 300 of those. Then they have 300 hand gloves. You know when you're doing sanitation, you have to wear gloves in order not to carry infection. Then they have brushes, they call them standing brushes. And there are 280 of those. Then they have what they call short brush. I'm not exactly sure what that is. But there are 20 of those.
And then they have 300 buckets, plastic buckets, 300 of them. And so we're going to present it to them this morning in recognition of their work, the work they do, and also to facilitate and make it easier for them to continue doing what they do. If other volunteer groups come up, we'll recognize them the same way and assist them to also be able to help the community. So bring me one of the brooms.
There you have it, a donation, from the presidency to the volunteer group Bus Stop Boys, recognizing their hard work towards cleaning our environment. And so they are doing so well. Okay, so we have the Bus Stop Boys on the line right now to talk to us. Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so we just watched a video where the president donated, some items to support your work. How is the feeling like when you received such equipment from the presidency?
Well, thank you first of all, and then greetings going out to everybody who is listening and watching. It feels great for me as a person, not because of the things that we're keeping, but the fact that sitting president, the first gentleman out of 33 million plus population, recognizing that yes, in all that we do as a nation, the involvement of young people is key in terms of sustainability or anything futuristic. And that support was actually a game changer, not for me as a person again, but as those who have also seen the need to do this. Because as we speak, we have a lot of young people volunteering to clean the environment. Upon the receipt of the equipment, we decided to also share what other groups to also have something to work with. And I can tell you from the record that I have that there are more than 20 young groups, some of which are just beginning to form groups to also go into environmental cleanup exercises. So first of all, I'll say thank you going out to the president for just talking about it, because when president speaks about something, it becomes a national convo. And I think at this point in our life, we need that convo nationally to begin to drive away the debt that we see on our environment. So I'll say thank you to the president again, and for that recognition, we appreciate.
Okay. So on a personal level, how do you feel when you see a place you just cleaned up, being filled with dirt again? How do you feel?
Well, I only feel like we, as a country, we are missing so much about why we are here, why and what is making us as people. Yeah. Because nobody can live or hang in space. We all need an environment to thrive. Education must thrive because there has to be an environment. Business must boom because yes, there must be environment. You must even go to church because there must be environment. So when I see people creating mess and they are pointing fingers, I ask myself, do we really understand the purpose of life and what is making life meaningful? Because the one thing is constant, the environment. If we take the environment out of life, everything becomes useless or defeated. Imagine what life would be without the environment. The oxygen, the food, the clothing, everything that is making us either jealous of somebody or happy for somebody. It's because there's an environment making all these things possible. So when I see such places we clean and we see them dirty again, the only thing that comes to mind first of all is the fact that the Ghanaian is missing in terms of mindset. We need to real think and real position ourselves in the perspective of what it takes to be human. That is my first anytime I see such things.
Okay, so
guys, hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so aside the cleaning as part of your volunteering, do you do any form of education, to the people around the communities you clean up? Because if you clean the place and you don't educate the people as to the need not to, keep the place dirty, and then you go and then it comes back to how it was, don't you think it's just going to be a cause 90 work? Do you add education to the cleaning as well?
Yes, we always say that cleaning is important, but education is the most important. That is why as a youth, I started my heart to see that or to say that today as we speak, nationally, there is no educative program that is talking about the environment. The issue of using infographics or deliberate positioning adverts on our screens to be able to correct the wrongs in the minds of people None of these things now exist. But I remember back in the 90s an ad about drugs that talked about the reason you don't need to be drug addict or you don't have to take drugs. Akwalao coin, I don't know if you remember that advert. These things are still in my mind after 30 years. Meaning that if we can deliberately position some adverts about good environmental practices on our screens, it will definitely go a long way to have the kind of change of mindset that we want in 10 years. 5 years old kids today, 10 years old kids today, by the time they'll be 20, they'll begin to understand that it is not AMA's responsibility to come and clean my environment. It is my responsibility to ensure that my space is always clean. And so, yes, anytime we go out there after cleaning, we speak to the people, purposely for them to understand that when there's flooding, when there's cholera, malaria, nobody will bear the consequences and nobody in power will pay for your hospital bills. If you don't have the money, you are dying. So why wait and be pointing fingers or be thinking that, oh, because there's AMA, because there's assembly, I need to create the med and they will come and take care of it. It doesn't work, and you know, that's how we tell them. You've been 68 years old, and you know these things are not working. So we need to adopt a new strategy. So we involve them, speak to them this way, and then we do the cleaning with them. Some of them begin to act according to how it is supposed. So yes, if we check on our social media, we are doing so much from telling young people about waste segregation, donating that things to them in our own little way. Tell them that yes, we talk about waste, but in truth, there is something like waste. Because even the mobile phones that we are using today was recycled, meaning that whatever we are thinking is waste that we are throwing in the gutters and on our streets can be recycled. Now let's talk about organic waste, for example. Every household wants to eat, which is good. How about let's finding a bin that is in our houses that we only put organic waste. You eat your bamboo, the remains you put it there. You eat your rice, the remains you put it there. This thing will naturally decompose and become organic fertilizer. So we can plant our tomato, plant our what's the name, the vegetables that we use in our homes. By so doing, we are saving the gutters from food waste. And we're also creating mini farms or gardens for ourselves to keep surviving. So in our little way, we are doing so much so that we get to see the change. Even when we are 60 and dying, at least we have to see a Ghana that is better off and that has a great future. Yes, thank you.
Are you thinking of spreading your wings, in creating more Basta Boys in various regions? Looking at the number of tools you've been supported with, don't you think distributing them among various volunteer groups, still under Basta Boys, but in different regions or different parts of, districts, in the Greater Accra region, don't you think that is also going to help in keeping our communities clean more easier than you coming together as a group and just working at one place?
Yeah, it's true. We also don't want to make it seem like we only give tools or we only give you support if you are Basta Boys. We know and we do understand that there is no way we can do it all. So we are only encouraging people. If you want to use the name Basta Boys, fine. But if not, you can create your own thing and have your own name. Our interest is to see our environment in a better condition than it is currently. And therefore, I personally do not care about who is doing it. All I want to see is results and change. So that's why we are giving out. Those who are willing to have it in a way of Basta Boys, fine. But we are ensuring that whoever we give wheelbarrows away are people who are not just idling around, but are actually doing the job.
Thank you very much. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I know you're a rep from the Basta Boys. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have one more question. My producer, we've lost him. Producer, you missed. Anyways, Madam. Okay, so we still have him on the line. Okay, so my producer is speaking to me. Let me come to you, Madam Florence. We just heard from the Basta Boys, on their vision, how to distribute the equipment received from the president. Do you think is in the right direction as to the president donating these amounts of, tools to them?
It is an encouragement. It is in the right direction because their accounts will say that you're afraid you are piano. So they are doing something good. They are volunteering. You know, since our discussion, I keep talking about volunteerism. Bus stop boys are doing something good. You understand? Okay. So if by donating these things to them, maybe some people somewhere who might have also have that intention, but were afraid to come out, can also come out. But what I keep saying is, when you start, don't think about what you will get. Okay. Think about what you will give. Bus stop boys started about what to give, and now they are getting. Okay. But if you want to start by saying, this is what I want to do, I want to get this, you will fail. They are winning because they are not thinking of what they will get, but what they will give.
Okay, we have a question here. Let me just chip in this. He says, or he or she says, hi, my problem is with what's the health minister and the AMA doing about the use of used drinking bottles by market women to sell palm oil and cooking oil? I don't know if this is related.
Yes, it's related. Okay. It's hygiene. It is hygiene. It's question concerning hygiene. You know, she's talking about used drinking bottles. So, for instance, this bottle that is there is supposed to be used as recyclable material, but not to be used in the market. Let's say somebody had TB and has taken water from the bottle, and you just go to take it. You've not even washed it, and you put whatever it is and resell. The person that is also coming to take it, there's going to be spread of the disease. So when you look at disease spread and food contamination, it is not good using bottles that have been used to drink water to put food and sell. But I want to come back and then talk about His Excellency Mr. President concerning the then Sama people. We want to indulge His Excellency to let his minister, the Minister for Local Government, to re-clothe the now environmental health officers. Okay. Because the then Sama people, when they were going out, they were visible. Okay. Visible in uniform. Visibility brings compliance. Even if you are not going to take an action and people see that you are, they know, as I'm here, I am supposed to be in uniform. If I were to be here in my environmental health uniform, people will know that this is the uniform they wear. When they are coming, these are the environmental officers coming. But we do not have uniform. Mr. President, please, we want to wear the environmental health uniform. We want to wear our white and khaki. We want to go to the field to do as they used to do. We can even do better because we are adding education to everything. We will not just say, why do you put the paper here? But we will educate you why you put the paper there and let you know that because of this paper you've placed here, it can lead to A, B, C, D. And because of that, we are taking you to court to go and answer why legal action should not be taken against you. But if I go and I'm wearing mufti and I'm talking to the person will not even listen to me. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. When you want to breach crime, you make police officers visible. You give them uniform. You give them motorcycles so that they are everywhere. So we want to breach sanitation. Please make the environmental officers, they are the frontline officers for sanitation. Make them visible. Resource them in the various assemblies. And they will work. Look, we are not even mobile. How can you do proper monitoring?
Yeah. We'll look at their, core mandate as frontliners. Sure. I mean, we'll look at their duties proper. But let me also remind you that we are streaming live on Facebook and also YouTube, and the phone lines have been activated. That's the number on your screens. You can call in and ask all your questions with regards to the conversations we are having here this morning. I don't know if the rep from Bus Stop Boys is still on the line. Producer, is he still on the line? All right. Okay. So let's get back into it. Now let's look at the mandates of these frontline environmental, workers. What exactly are their duties?
So environmental health officers, we carry out sanitation inspections at homes, at marketplaces, in schools, and at where food is being produced.
Please hold on. Please note the WhatsApp number, the phone number, the number on your screen right now. That is the phone line. So please call that number. The 050, the one you are seeing on your screen right now, that is the phone line. Last number 85, you are calling our WhatsApp number. Please call the phone number. Thank you very much.
So aside the inspections, we also conduct health surveillance to track diseases outbreaks that are linked to poor sanitation issues and hygiene activities. So we also carry out community risk assessment on sanitation hotspot, thereby mapping them and knowing how to carry out our activities. And we also enforce the sanitation bylaws on waste disposal, household toilet provision, and environmental safety. And we don't do these things to punish people. We do it to protect the public health. So we don't just inspect toilet facilities or communities. We analyze the community sanitation patterns. We educate households, and we enforce the laws to protect public health.
Interesting. But don't you think Ghanaians have passed, the level of coming to talk to you, keep your environment clean? Because gone are the days, the abayes or the town councils, when they are coming, you see people running, putting things in order. Don't you think they need such power to...
That is why I said they were coming in uniform.
Okay.
So we go to carry out, it's the same thing that they were doing that we are doing. You understand?
Yeah.
But it's just that now we are doing risk assessment.
Okay.
But that time they were doing discretion, but they were wearing uniforms. That is why we are saying we are happy the president is passionate about sanitation. He should not just be passionate about sanitation, he should be passionate about the frontline workers of sanitation. He should ensure that they are being visualized by giving them uniforms.
Yeah.
Because when I'm coming to you and I'm wearing a uniform, as I'm sitting here, if I were to be in uniform, it's part of education.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
When people see me in their communities coming to do the clean your vicinity, do this, they will know that this is an environmental health officer coming. You understand? They will do the right thing. I remember when I was a student and I was doing my internship in one of the districts. Though I was wearing the student uniform, there were times you go to a place, people will carry human excreta in chamber pot and run inside their rooms and go and hide it beneath their bed because the uniform. But if you are going and you are in mufti, people will not know you. So they will not run. We want to be visible.
Yeah.
So we are pleading with the president to let his minister in charge of sanitation, that is the minister of local government, visualize the environmental health officers. They should prioritize us. When there is outbreak, for instance, when there is cholera outbreak, you see how the minister of health work with the nurses. But when we should know that there is an outbreak of sanitation, poor sanitation in the country, we want the minister to work with us. Sanitation is a technical action. It's not just anything like that. That is why we are practicing officers. We are licensed by the allied health profession. You can't be an environmental health officer practicing without a pen.
Please hold on. Take a sip of water. Let me remind our viewers that we are streaming live on Facebook and also on YouTube as well. This conversation is getting interesting more and more as Madam Florence is giving us all the takes, the in-depth as to how to protect our communities by cleaning our communities. We also heard from the bus stop boys sharing their journey with us. They recently received some donations from the presidency, and these are all, activities that comes together to put our communities in a clean state. And so if you're watching us, the phone lines have also been activated. Call us. Let us hear your opinions as to how this conversation is going. If you have, diverse opinions, you can share with us. We would talk about it. Now, let's look at how a clean environment impacts our mindset as individuals, as a human being. If your environment is clean, you have a reset of mindset. Let's look at how important this is.
Clean environment is very important to our human being from birth to everything. For instance, if you are in a clean environment, you feel good.
Yeah.
If you are in a clean environment, you are not sick.
Yeah.
If you are not sick, you increase productivity. Clean environment brings in tourism. Clean environment brings in economic growth. So as a human being, because you are living in a clean environment and you are healthy, you are strong, you do your day-to-day activity, you are able to generate economic gains for yourself, and you are able to help build the country. So clean environment is not just for you, the individual. It starts from you, the individual, then it builds up, and then it becomes a shared facility for everybody.
Okay, so let's take a caller. Mr. Deborah from Kaneshi is calling us. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yo,
yeah, also.
Me about foreign, the one about so. Leading the Peter Kodebra. Yeah, dear, you don't know any local government minister. You say you couldn't move it. I'm a sister not so. Many uncommon penny, and many break it here for we are dear. For you, some idea that I come a government tell you about Babani. Because a media film, a young cry who is community a bony to be so when kick. It's in you crew. I'm a summer about two, and so teaching community. So, but if you do with the chief to go over summer, with the chief over summer. When a man is now once in a spank at us, the matter of the summer, I'm pretty young and Saudi is a good kid and most for summer. Let me pray over. It's not right. Woman entered by force. So the first lady see some Samano. Right now, because we are not the cleanest town in the country, and you can read the senior about Israel. And it's more than a but be about I think Kushia. You have one about the Kian for him. This is not as of work. Woman factor of the young people to see a check. Can never know my young and that next time. I want that to remind no one couldn't be a Kuma. The movie are not 5 seconds when you talk of Abayen. As in the year, it's in a book from a million about foreign.
And basically, he's just talking about how good this conversation is, impactful, and he also made mention of the fact that you need to be promoted, because of, the insights you are giving to us. You should be, a leader of these enforcement teams because of how you are speaking, according to the man. But yeah, so continue.
Yes, so I still want to continue. So the president has pat the back of the bus stop boys. They are doing well. We are also pleading with the minister to also pat the backs of the environmental health officers. He should make us mobile.
Yeah.
At least we need mobility to carry out our work. For instance, the ways that the minister got to see at that time, maybe if we were mobile, we will have officers in town going around to see what is happening. And that one alone will deter people from what? Doing littering and all that. We want to be mobile. That is one. The first one is they should make us visible. They should give us the uniform. We are law enforcers officers, and no law enforcer works without a uniform. We send people to court, and then we are in mufti. So how will people take you serious? So when you go to court and a bench warrant is given, you cannot go and do the arrest. You need a uniform officer to go with you to carry out the arrest.
All right. We have another caller on the line. Hello.
Yes.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Ala Muksina.
Okay. Where are you calling us from, please?
I work at Tolong District Assembly.
Okay. Let's hear your take on this conversation.
Environmental officers, they were giving us motorbikes to move from one place to another. But this time around, there's no motorbike. You use your personal motorbike. Assuming I'm from Tamale, I'll ride from Tamale to Tolong. And if I'm going to a nearby village or far, I have to use my motorbike again and go to remote area to be given education. So this time around, because this thing, yes, what Madam is saying is true. Uniform is important, and that motorbike too is another problem. If government could provide motorbikes for us, it would be visible in film. And all the olden days, this thing, fear in people that some people are coming, it will come back.
Okay.
That's what I want to say.
Thank you so much for your concern and your opinion as well. So she is requesting that, previously they used to be given motorbikes. So it should also be added.
That is why I'm saying, when we were with the Ministry of Health, and sanitation is part of health, they knew the importance of the sanitation officers. They were taking care of us as they were taking care of the nurses. Sanitation is directly proportional to health.
Yeah.
You understand? Mostly, I say the environment is a reservoir. Let's say this is our reservoir. These stones inside this container, because the reservoir is clean, you can put your hand inside and take the stones. If you come and the thing inside this container is muddy, will you put your hand inside? So when the environment is muddy, it brings diseases. It brings all other vices. You understand?
Yeah.
And for it to be clean, you need to support the officers that are doing it. You can give waste collection to private officers, service providers. They can do it, but the technical aspect, you still need the environmental health aspect to put in the technical bit, to put in the law enforcement, to put in the behavior change, to put in the awareness creation. And it takes the environmental officer to do all these things. And if we are not resourced, how do you do it? My sister, when you go to some district assemblies and you see the office that the environmental officers are living inside, it's a pity. Sometimes you go to an office, one office for the head and all the other staff. There's no privacy. And people come to us to confine and ask, they bring complaint. At least you need privacy to attend to some of these complaints. But it is not like that. So we are pleading. The environmental officers, we want to work. But we want our bosses, our employers to empower us. We use our own money to carry out enforcement. Look, when you arrest one person and you are supposed to send the person to the police station to sleep overnight, you must feed the person. It is from your pocket. When you take the person to court and the person is being convicted and you are sending the person to prison or wherever, you have to rent a car from your own pocket. So we use our own money to enforce sanitation laws, which is not done. How many nurses will use their own money to buy medicines to treat patients? But we use our money to buy medicine to treat sanitation patients, which is not done. So at least we need that part, that support to do the work. But if you just leave and said, the assemblies, some of the assemblies are not helping environmental officers at the assemblies. They think sanitation is just job for everybody. Anybody can do it. It is not true. Sanitation is a technical activity that is supposed to be handled by technical men and women.
Sustainability has always been the challenge when it comes to, keeping our environments clean. I think last month or last 2 months, an initiative started where we're decongesting markets in Accra. And today you go back to the markets and they are back on the streets again. So how do you ensure, your outfits ensure that, your environmental officers are sustainable, or the initiatives? Okay, so we have a caller on the line. Beatrice, good morning for joining us.
Good morning.
Okay. Please, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Agoba.
Okay. Please, let's hear your opinion.
Yes. My problem is, what is the health minister and the AMA doing about the use of used drinking bottles by market women to sell palm oil and cooking oil?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Beatrice. This question came up, and
in fact, it's a very good thing that she has said. So she has directed our attention to it, and we are going to work on it briefly as part of our market sanitation and hygiene activities.
So I was talking about sustainability.
Yes, so that is the sustainability. It needs to enforcement. You understand? The people have come back to the roadside. You need to enforce them. There's a way of doing things and letting it go. Sometimes when you want to do something, you just do it, you don't look at faces. But when you begin to look at faces, it brings a problem. And mostly what I say is our representatives, they are lambs. But we, the technocrats, we are lions. So if you want to do such a thing, let the technocrats lead the way. Then you will be at the back. When the technocrat is leading the way, we will do it and back it up. But and nobody can, what will I say? Is it intimidation? It is not intimidation. Like you want to do something and somebody say, if you do this, I won't do this.
Threatening.
It's not blackmail.
Okay.
For us, we are technocrats. We don't need anything from anybody. We want the people to be healthy. So if we are leading that fight, we will lead it for it to work. But if the representatives are leading it, they are lamp. So they will lead it in a way, then people will start, you said when we come, you won't do this, you won't do that. And because they want the people's distance, they have to stay back.
Madam Florence, because of time, we'll take your last words. So that we'll have a part 2 of this. But Sonia Enyeminku says she's watching her superstar Miriam. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Thank you for watching. Let's take your last words, Madam.
So my last word
Florence.
is that environmental sanitation is fundamental to public health. It's fundamental to economic growth. It's fundamental to tourism. It is the driver in sustainable development. And everybody must see it like that. When we fail sanitation, we have failed in anything.
Well said.
Thank you.
When we fail in sanitation, we have failed in everything. Madam Florence Kunchi, the Public Health Director at AMA, was our guest for today. We also spoke with some reps from the Bus Stop Boys, a volunteer group, and it is all about promoting community cleanliness for a healthier Ghana. I am your host, or I was your host, Miriam Abna Adede. I stepped in for your usual host, Yaira Awono, who's gone for a very, very, very short break. She will be joining us very soon. But I hope you have been informed from our conversations, from the motivational quotes through to online, lifestyle, sports, business, and to our main segment. I hope you have learned something from today's show. A big thanks going out to our technical team, our producers, our general manager, the executive secretary of Clocksack for this opportunity, and many thanks going out to Pimpamtie Hotel for supporting us from wherever they are. So we'll catch you same time on Thursday, very early in the morning, 6:30 a.m. here on Clock TV. Once again, I am Miriam Abna Adede.
Clog TV, beyond the policy.